What's going on, everybody? David here, back with another live stream, and we're going to get started in a minute as soon as we get some more people or get some people in here. So today we're going to be talking about how to improve your credit, and I want more input from everyone. So it's just going to be me kind of telling you some of the different tips, and then we will get feedback from people who are actually in the live stream, with hopefully with their stories of how they improved their credit. So that's what we're doing today. That's what we'll be talking about. We'll also be talking about travel credit cards. And I realized that in the past, all I talk about is travel credit cards, which is great because that's what a lot of people come in here to see. But some people might not have the best credit. And so I think it's good for us to kind of talk a little bit about credit as well. Now, I am not a credit expert or anything like that. I'm just a person that's been able to uh, do a few things to help my credit along the way. And so I'm just sharing that stuff with you. And I've never really had bad credit. Like my credit's always been high sixes, but I've been able to jump it up to it's now about seven. I'm in about 760, 765, somewhere around there. So I've been able to do some pretty good things with it. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Okay, what's going on, David? How you doing? When you guys come in the room, just let me know you're here just by saying hello. And David's coming from Hawaii. Nice. Got to show us some pictures. Did you post any on the Facebook group? Because I would love to see some Hawaii pictures. I'll be there in about a month. I keep saying a month. Every week I say a month. But yeah, officially it's a month because it's what's today, the 24th. I'll be leaving on the 20th. So, or 25th is today. So just a little less than a month. Yeah, show us some pictures if you haven't posted any in a Facebook group. That'd be great. I can pull them up and show them to everyone. What's going on, Lionel? How you doing, buddy? All right. So as you guys come in, just let me know you're here by saying hello. And if you are new here, please let me know where you're coming from, just what state you're coming from. A lot of people in here already know, just from people coming on here in the past. So let me make sure everything is running smoothly, and then in about 2 minutes, we'll go ahead and get started. Now, we're talking about just how to improve your credit, but I want to get input from you guys. So, people who have gone through this and improved their credit, please let us know some of the different things that you've done. And then we'll also talk about travel credit cards as well. So, if you guys have a credit card in mind, just post it in the chat, and then we'll look into that one as well, or we'll look into that card and talk a little bit about it. World Walker, what's going on? How you doing, buddy? Coming from Ohio, yeah. All right. Let's see. So let me know if you guys can hear me. If everything sounds fine and the video quality should be okay. I'm looking at it right now. It doesn't look like there are any issues or anything like that. I'm using a new little setup. Not a new setup. The setup is the same. Well, it's a little different. I'm using different soft boxes today, so I don't know if you can see any difference, but I just wanted to get a larger softbox. That way, it'll be a little less harsh on my face on my face. So that's what I did. I can't even say that with a straight face. I don't know why I'm laughing, but yeah, just a little softer look. That's what I was going for. So all right, let's see. Anybody else in here? We got a few more people in. Just let me know you're here by saying hello, or just give me a thumbs up in the chat. And then also, if you guys are here, please hit the like button. That way we can let YouTube know that we're doing a live stream, and they will send some more people our way. So let's see. All right, everything looks good. So no issues with any of that. Okay, so I put out a video, and I put this video out a couple of days ago, just about how to improve your credit. And I think it's very important, even if you're not into travel credit cards. It's important to have good credit, right? To really work on your credit and constantly work on your credit. And I pretty much, my credit for the most part has been fine. I haven't had any issues with my credit, but I there are a few things that I started to do. Like after I started getting these travel credit cards, after I got the first travel credit card, then I started to realize, hey, you know what? I can improve my credit by doing this. I can improve my credit by doing this. Getting more credit cards actually will improve your credit over time. So I started doing those things. And as I was doing those things, my credit started to increase. And it went up at least 60, about, I'd say like 55 points it went up. And this was over about a year and a half. So that worked. I mean, that I was happy with that. I mean, considering right now my credit score is about 767 the last time I checked. That's just with Experian. Now that's not with the three credit bureaus. It's actually a little higher, but I have like that Experian, whatever, I don't even know what they call the thing that I have, but I pay, it's like $24 a month, and they basically watch my credit. Experian does, and then if anything goes on with my credit, they'll let me know immediately. That kind of stuff. Give me a text message, email, and so anytime I open up a new inquiry or anything like that, they'll let me know. So I'm paying for that, and then they'll show me my credit at that point. And then I can do, like I do every so often, I'll do the three aggregate credit scores. And so my other two, I think, God, one of them is 791, and then the other one is 767. That's Experian, and then the other one is the high 750, something like that. So then you average that in, and then you get your overall. So it's actually higher than 767, the three averaged, but I just go with 767 because that's what's on Experian. So yeah, so we'll talk a little bit about that. I'll just tell you some of the things that I've done, and a lot of it's going to come from the video that I actually already put out. So if you want the shorter version, you can jump over there and check it out, or if you want a version that you can have for just to look at in the future, then you can check that video out. It's only, I think it's like 8 minutes or something like that. But I think it's very important because if you want, especially if you want to get travel credit cards, they're hard cards to get. Not all of them are easy to get. And like the Chase Sapphire Reserve, it's going to be a little harder to get that card. So you want to have good credit. You want to be building towards getting better and better credit. So let's say you get the Chase Freedom card, the first card you get. It's probably the easier one to get. Or like a cashback card, not just Chase, but a cashback card overall is probably the easiest to get. And then once you get that card, then you're going to want to, get some of the other cards, right? Some of the real travel cards. And so you want to make sure you're continuing to improve your credit along the way. So I'll give out some shout outs. So if you guys are in here, just let me know you're here just by saying hello. And we have looks like about 13 people in the chat. So just let me know you're here by saying hello, or give me a thumbs up, just something so I know that you guys are in the room. Okay. Let's see. Let's move over. All right. So Derek, how you doing, buddy? What's going on? I have credit cards for 5 months and 2 marks on my report, and I can't get travel cards. Okay. And we'll talk a little bit about that. Now, I will preface this whole thing by saying I am not a financial expert. I am not a credit expert or anything like that. So take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. It might help you. It helped me. That's all I'll say about that. So if it's specific questions, I'll try to answer them. I'll answer them the way that I handled them. Okay. If it's something that I haven't handled before, I'm going to let you know. You know what? I've never handled anything like that before. So you might want to talk to a professional when it comes to that. But just understand, you don't have to go through some of these credit repair websites or credit repair companies. A lot of the stuff you can do on your own. And now with the internet, you can jump online and get pretty much all the information you need. You can get your credit score, you can get a credit report, free credit report, and then work it that way and see if that works for you, as opposed to like paying hundreds of dollars for a service where you'll probably get the same result or similar result. It's just like, and I'm jumping to another topic, but just like passports. It's amazing to me how people will pay for a passport service. It's like getting a passport is really easy. Get online, fill out the information, pay the fee, and get the passport. And I have a video on that, just specifically about passports. So if you want to check that out, it's 5 steps, 5 easy steps to getting your passport. And I'm going to actually post a link to that one, because it amazes me how you have these companies. And the funny thing is, sometimes when you type in, like on Google, you type in how to get a passport, and what comes up is these companies that are like a service, and you pay them, and then they'll take care of everything, which is it's something that you shouldn't be paying for, because you don't have to pay for it. It's amazing. Okay, so let's. I'm gonna pull that up real quick. I'll pull a link to that, and then we'll get started here. Let's see. But yeah, I just want you to know they're. Let's see. How to. Um, and I'll also put the credit one. I'll put a link to that one as well, just so you guys have that. So you can go to that. And I put that out a couple of days ago. That way you'll have something that you can refer back to in the future, because this will be a long-winded.
This is Ode to State Farm winning 5 JD Power Awards in a row for life insurance.
You might not remember where everything is. So let's see. All right, we'll post that. And hope everybody's doing well on this Memorial Day weekend. I have 3 days off anyway, but it's great to have, not everyone, but a lot of people are off on Monday, so that's nice. Celebrating Memorial Day. Okay, one more here, and then we'll go ahead and officially get started. And I'll give a shout out right before. So if you guys are in here right now, just let me know you're here just by saying hello, and then we'll get started. Let's see, what was the other one I said? How to improve your credit. And there are tons of videos about improving your credit. And like I said, I think it's very important. Like that's one of the major, like one of the big things when it comes to just being able to get a house, cars, all that good stuff at a low interest rate. It's great having good credit is important for about how to improve your credit. So I talk a lot about travel rewards credit cards and how to maximize points. Okay. I apologize. I need to mute this mic so it won't be playing that stuff in the background. All right. One more link and then we'll go. Okay, so those are 2 links. You guys can check those out later. But that'll give you some more information about how to improve your credit as well as getting a U.S. passport. So let's give some shout outs and then we'll start talking a little bit. Actually, the way I'm going to do this is we're just going to do Q&A, and then I'll add what I want to add in with the questions or the comments that you guys make. That'll make it much easier. I'm not going to do like an official. I'm going to stop doing more of a formal. This is going to be more of an informal setting where we're just talking back and forth, as opposed to having like the formal setup where, okay, I'm going to talk for 10 minutes and then we'll come back. Nah, I don't like doing that. I want to make it a little more spontaneous. Okay. So we left off at Derek. I have a credit card, 5 months and 2 marks on my report. I can't get travel cards. Okay, so Derek, my advice to you, I don't know what cards you have right now, what credit cards you have, but try to get some of the cashback cards if you can possibly do that. Maybe like the Chase Freedom card, if you're interested in getting that, and then see where that goes. If you can actually get a Chase Freedom card, then it's somewhere down the road. You can probably get one of the, once you show, let's say 6 to 12 months of you're paying your bills on time with the Chase Freedom card. And when you get that Chase Freedom card, get the card, hold on to those points. Don't cash the points out. So they'll give you like $150 off the, like after hitting that minimum spend. It's a $500 minimum spend. So after you hit that, then just keep that card and keep using it. Not for everything, but use it for your some of your purchases, and then make sure you're paying it off every month. I would advise paying it off every two weeks. And then after about 6 months, see where you are with your credit. I have always been told, and there's no written rule, but if you're around 700, you're probably good to get at least one of the travel credit cards, like a Chase Sapphire Preferred or a Citi Thank You Premier, or even a American Express, you could probably get a gold. If not gold, then that blue card, you can get that one as well. But around 700, that's where you want to be. So get your credit to around that point, and then you can look into getting a credit card, a travel credit card. But you have to be, and this is the most important thing when it comes to travel credit cards. And I actually got a comment on this video about how to build your credit. And because I was talking about travel credit cards, right? Like the reason that we're talking about building your credit up so you can get these travel credit cards. And there was someone that commented. They had a lot of good advice, but one of their comments was the travel credit cards, if you hold a balance, they're not worth it to have those credit cards. And I would say yes, I agree with that. But the purpose of travel credit cards, the purpose of any credit card really, but especially travel credit cards because they give you these benefits. The purpose of those cards is not to use them because you don't have money. The reason for those cards is to use them because you do have money and you're trying to maximize the benefits of that card. And that's the only reason that you're using them. So never carry a balance. So you should, that shouldn't even be in your thought. Like, oh, I'm going to use this card because I don't have the money to pay for whatever I want to pay for. So I'll use this card, and then maybe 2-3 months down the road, I'll pay a little over time, and then I'll pay it off. That should never be your strategy when it comes to travel credit cards because the interest rates are way too high. Your strategy should be, oh, I have $500 in the bank, and I want to buy this TV, and it costs $500. So I'm going to use my credit card because I get extra added purchase protection when it comes to that. So if 120 days down the road or 119 days down the road, my TV stops working, well, then now I have an opportunity to get it fixed or to, get a refund for it in certain situations. So that's what it's for. Plus, you're getting points for it because you're using your credit card, and you're getting extra warranty. So if you have a warranty for a year on the TV, now you get an additional year because you use your credit card. That's what you're using it for. And then that $500 that you already have in your bank account, it goes right over to make that payment. As soon as it posts, you can pay it off because you already have the money. You're only using the travel card to get the benefits. Okay, so make sure that's a big thing, and I think that's where when I first started out, or even before I started out, I was very apprehensive about getting credit cards because that was my thought at the time. Like, oh, I don't want to get credit cards because then I'll go in debt. You're not going to go in debt unless you use your credit cards wrong. And the correct way to use them is to pay it off as soon as you can. And it's the best thing is to have that money in your account already. And you just use that credit card because some people will say, yeah, you know what? I'm just going to use my debit card. I have the money in the bank, so I use my debit card and it handles everything. It takes the money out. But guess what? You're not getting any of the benefits. You're not getting any points with it. You're not getting any of the extra added protection by using your credit card. So that my advice to you, Derek, just try. You have 2 marks on your credit. One other thing too is, first off, find out where your credit score is. So you can go on free credit report. There's a variety of different online websites that you can get your credit score. So get your credit score, see what it is. And at that point, once you see what your credit score is, then start looking at maybe pull your credit report. And once you pull your credit report, look at it, look through it. You say you have two marks on there. You might be able to work with the companies. Like, first off, if you've already paid it off, but it's like a late mark, like I have 4.5 years old. It's 4.5 years old, but late payment, 30 days, and it's been on my credit. I'm actually gonna dispute it at this point just to see like if maybe they can get it off my credit because it's been there for 4.5 years. It will erase in 7 years automatically, but it's worth a shot just to see. Hey, I've been doing well. That was one little hiccup, but now I'm doing fine. So just see what they do. And they have, like, if you dispute something, they have a certain amount of time where they need to respond, like the creditor. So I disputed on my Experian, and then the creditor has I don't know if it's 30 days or 90 days, whatever, but they have a certain amount of time they need to respond. If that time runs out and they don't respond at all, then Experian will take it off the credit report. Okay. So let's see. And Derek says, but my score is 680. Okay. And so Derek, another thing, like I said, travel credit cards, you want to be around 700. I'm not saying you can't get one at 680, but I'm just saying you want to probably be around 700. But you should probably be able to get at least a cashback card, the Chase Freedom or Chase Freedom Unlimited, with that credit score. Okay. Let's see. Let me show what we got here. D. Anderson, what's going on? 2015 separated, divorce. 2015 was, wow, okay. And now you're at sorry, you're at 465, and now you're at 743. That's good. Pay no one, YouTuber, self motivation, 9 cards, one car loan, one personal line of credit. Perfect. Yeah, good job, Anderson. So, and I mean, he's showing you right there. He went through some tough times as far as the divorce and all that, and he was still so his credit really suffered from that, and then now he's up at 743. So that's really good. And when it comes to credit cards, I initially thought like the more credit cards you get, the worse off you are when it comes to your credit. But if you get them over time, so you don't get them all at once, like in 1 year you get 10 credit cards, yeah, that's probably going to look bad. Actually, that will look bad. But if over time you gradually increase, let's say every 4 to 6 months you get a new credit card, and then like 5 years down the road you have like 15 credit cards, it doesn't look bad. And actually, what you're doing is you're increasing your credit limits. So I have, let's say, you have 5 credit cards, and your credit for all 5 of those cards, your credit limit is at 60,000. So you have that available to you. Let's make it easier. 100,000. So you have 100,000 credit limit out of all 5 cards, right? And so you have that, and then you're only using, let's say, 10,000. You have like revolving 10,000 that kind of every month. And the reason I'm using these numbers, these are larger numbers than you're probably going to see, but the reason I'm using these numbers, it's easier to equate. At least for me, it is. So you have 1,000, you have $10,000 of credit that's kind of out there at any given time in the month. So now your credit utilization is at 10%. Okay, you want to keep it 10% or below. The lower you keep it, the better. So let's say you're at that $10,000 every month, like kind of that's kind of the standard. I say, you know what, I'm going to start paying off my bills a lot sooner, and you drop that from 10,000 down to 5,000. So once you drop it down to 5,000, now your credit utilization for your revolving credit, your credit utilization drops to 5%. Your credit score is going to jump up just because of that. Not to mention you're paying more on your credit cards and all that. So just something to think about. And so if you only have one credit card, and let's say it's a $20,000 credit limit, and you let's do this. Yeah, we can use that. So 20,000 credit limit, right? You have one card, 20,000 credit limit. You have $2,000 out there. So now you're at 10% utilization, right? So it's the same rule, but let's say you get another card on top of that. So you have that 20,000 limit there, and then you get another card with another 20,000 limit. So now the only thing that's changed is you got additional card, but your credit limit has gone up from 20,000 to 40,000. So now you're 40,000. You're only spending. You still have that $2,000 that's revolving. So now your credit utilization will drop down, and your credit score will increase. But you do need to understand too, getting a credit, like a hard pull, it's going to affect your credit. Okay, it's going to drop a little bit, so it'll probably drop. In my experience, it's been like 4 to 6 points that it'll drop, and that'll happen for a couple months. It'll drop down, it'll be there for a couple months, and then it'll shoot back up. And usually it will shoot up higher than it was before mainly because of that credit. So your credit utilization is that percentage goes down a little bit because now you have more credit available. So that's just been my experience. Okay. All right. So Derek, my advice to you is, try to get one of those cashback cards if you can. And then if that doesn't work, then just try to do some little things to work on your credit, pay off some of the credit that you have right now. So at least your credit utilization will drop down a little bit, the percentage. And then you should be able to get up to at least 700. All right. What's going on, Nika? How you doing? Let's see. You can't get a travel card with 680. All right. So that's Nika saying that. And I would tend to agree with that. Usually you need to be a little bit higher. Yeah, tried pre-qualified, and they said nope. Okay. Enrique, what's going on? I got denied for the Chase Preferred. with a 720 score. Okay, and there are other factors too. I mean, don't just think, oh, I just need to have a high credit score. There are other factors that they look at, and we all know Chase has their rules, their 524 rule, and things like that. So there might have been some other things. If you do get declined, my advice has always been to call them and call the reconsideration line and see uh, what's going on and see if you can get the credit that way. And if they don't give it to you, then they might even tell you, hey, these are the reasons why. Um, People in the past have said the Chase Sapphire Preferred, you need to have at least a credit limit of 5,000 or more. So that's what they're not going to go lower than 5,000 as far as the credit limit that they'll give you. So let's say you don't make enough to get that $5,000 credit limit, then they won't issue you the card. You won't be able to get it. It doesn't matter how high your credit score is. Now, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that people have said in the past. So I'm not saying that this is the hard and fast rule, but I'm just saying that this is what's been explained to me. So if you do have Chase cards already, there are ways where you can kind of shift around your credit to allow you enough space in order to get that Chase Sapphire Preferred, because Chase and all the banks really, a lot of them they'll give you a certain amount of credit on all the cards that you have. So they won't let you go over that credit. So sometimes you do have to kind of shift around your credit in order to allow you to get certain cards. So that's something to think about as well. Okay, TEC credit is a very important tool. Without credit, you can't get loans, utilities. It's easy. Yeah, that's true, David. So, I mean, and that's what ultimately comes down to. You when it comes to, you want to have good credit because you're showing you're showing that you're mature and you can pay your bills and all that, and that will help you with car loans, mortgages, just a variety of different things. So it's something that you do want to focus on. And we all mess up, right? We've all had issues with credit in the past, and I won't say issues, but you might slip up, and you slip up, but you can rebound from that and improve your credit. It's not the end of the world if you make a mistake. And another thing too, when it comes to credit, I always advise people to keep your credit cards open. Like, don't close a credit card. And I know, and this is like, and I wasn't even thinking about this, but someone brought it to my attention. This is a couple months ago, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to get rid of my American Express, the Advantage card. And I still haven't done it yet because I've already paid it for the year, so I'll keep it a little while longer. But instead of getting rid of that card, like closing the account, just downgrade the card to another card that's a no annual fee card, and then just hold on to that card, because once you get credit, you want to be able to hold on to that credit, and especially if it's your first card. Like if you're young, when I went to college, way back when, I was able to get some credit cards through, because they give credit cards away when you're in college. Like they always have these little booths set up everywhere, and they're just pretty much handing out credit to people. And it's, for them, it's a smart business move. You're getting people right when they're starting to establish their credit. You're getting them credit cards. They're in school, so they're going to need books. They're going to need to spend money on different things. So they're getting you they're getting you at the right time. But those credit cards, actually, I got 2 credit cards back then. One of them, I closed the account, and this was a long time ago. I should have never done that, but I did. But the other one I held on to, and I still have it to this day. And so that established my credit. And so like my credit history is long, is long because of that. So you want to hold on, because when you establish that credit, that's your credit will improve over time, because they can look at your history and say, oh, this person's had credit since 24 years ago or something like that. So that's another good thing. Don't close the cards out unless you absolutely have to. I can't really think of a reason why you would have to close your credit card off, but pay it off and then just hold on to that credit if you can. Okay, the only reason I was approved for mortgage at 21 was because I had credit cards. Since that day, I turned 18, paid off the bill every single month in full on time. Great, that's great. That's David saying that. So, yeah, he had the revolving credit. he's paying his bills every month, and so they look at that and they look at the fact that okay, it looks like he's doing the right thing. So okay, all right. So let's move on down here. Okay. Derek, I have Capital One Platinum and Quicksilver, City secured, State Department, Federal Credit Union secured. Okay. All right, Derek. And so, well, maybe you have Capital One already, the Quicksilver. You might be able to qualify for Venture. I don't know. Maybe you've tried that already, but that might be a card that you can consider. But if not, I mean, me, I like Chase, so Chase Freedom card would be one that I would really like to get. Okay, paid off mine every week. Utilization is 0. Okay. I don't know, Derek. I mean, it sounds good to me. 680, you're not going to be able to get, like, if you have a credit utilization of 0, then something else is going on, like, as far as that's when you need to call and find out. Like, I applied for a card. I didn't get the card. It's a travel card. You have a 680, so that might be the problem there. But call the reconsideration line and just find out what's going on, because there are a lot of different factors that they look at. And if you're covering trying to cover all bases, then there could be something that you're missing, and that might be that reason. Okay. What's going on, Ryan? If you have questions for us, that's cool. But if you don't have any questions and you just want to plug videos, then this is not the chat for that. All right. Let's see. Lionel. Okay, he's talking about D. Anderson. The Amex Delta is a great starter travel card. Okay, so that's Lionel saying that the Amex Delta card is a great starter card. Let's see. Rolo, what's going on? My credit at one time was 575 during the dark time. In my life now it's 778. Wow, that's good, Rolo. That's really good. All right, let's move on down. Okay. D. Anderson, I have the Wells Fargo Platinum, 3,300 U.S. Bank Platinum, 4,000 U.S. Bank Cash, plus 10,000, and 2 Quicksilvers, 1,000. You have a lot of cards there. You have a lot of cards, Anderson. Don't ever give up, people. Trust what you put in, the work, it can be done. Posted what? Let's see, post what I did on YouTube as well. Yeah, and that's good. Over time, you get these cards and you hold on to them, and before you know it, you'll have 10 cards. And I'm not really pushing you should get as many cards as possible, but I'm just saying the more cards you do have, that utilization is really gonna. I mean, your credit limit will really increase, and then that utilization should go down. So that will help you overall. But I'm not a churner, okay? So I don't get these cards and just churn them. I try to get cards when I need them and then hold on to them for the long haul. Okay, Anderson, Lionel, yes, I booked a trip to Vegas. Vegas, that's cool, man. You'll have a good time there. Have you guys noticed not many etching offers out there at the moment? Just same old things. It seemed we're saying that. Yeah, there's not too many exciting. I think you're saying exciting offers. Or enticing. I'm sorry. My eyes are getting bad. There it goes. Yeah, enticing. So, yes, I agree with you, Seymour. There aren't very many enticing offers right now. And I know back at the end of last year, the credit card companies were saying they're really hurting and they're losing money and all this good stuff. And you started seeing the whole tiered bonuses and stuff like that. So I think they're really kind of laying low now, and they're not really, because people are using the cards right. And that's what it comes down to. Like, if you get these travel credit cards and you use them the right way, in a sense where you're paying them off every month and you're not allowing them to get any interest out of you, and you're getting these bonuses and you're using the bonuses, because some people get the bonuses and they never use them. So you have the points and you got the card because you wanted to get the points, but then you just don't find time to use the points. And so they're still doing okay. with that. But if you get the cards and you're using the points and you're paying it off every month, well, now the banks aren't getting money from you. They're getting money from the merchants because the merchants are paying them, but they're not getting money from you. And so at that point, yeah, they probably are losing money. So what do they want to do? They want to have these different little tiers now. So let's see, you get 25,000. I think the World of Height is a good example of that card now. You get 25,000 points after spending, let's just say 3,000. I think it's 3,000. After spending $3,000 within the first 3 months, you get 25,000 points. And then if you spend an additional $3,000 in the whole 6-month period, so you're going to have to spend a total of $6,000 in 6 months, then you'll get the additional 25,000, which will give you 50,000. And so they're doing things like that because they want you to keep using that card as much as possible or as long as possible, in the hopes that one of the months you'll just say, you know what, times are tough. I'm just going to pay the minimum this month, and then I'll catch up next month. They want that because that's that interest that they'll get from that. So we'll see. We'll see if they do anything exciting. But there are a lot of people. You have websites now that they're dedicated. The Points Guy is dedicated to travel credit cards and how to travel. Travel for less. And you see a lot of these other. You Ask Sebi and Credit Shifu and a lot of different. Like I have my stuff now that I'm talking about, and there are a few people that are at my range as far as level of subscribers that have videos that are very similar when it comes to travel credit cards. So I think that we're wise to the game now. So now they're going to have to try to be a little more creative on how they get us to use these cards and maybe miss a month here or there. But if you do it the right way, you're going to make out, and you're going to be on the high end, on the top of everything, and you are going to have some people that are going to slip up, and they're going to be paying for your vacations, essentially. Okay. Paisa Gringo, what's going on, Jason? My Victoria's Secret card. Oh, God. All right. So Paisa Gringos is one of my buddies from a WhatsApp group, and yeah, he was telling me about it. So I'll tell the story. let me read this real quick. Victoria's Secret card. Hold on. I just paid it off and show the card. Okay, so just kind of funny. He gets this card. I don't know if obviously he was in there buying a gift for a female friend, I guess. I don't know, but he ended up getting one of their cards, the Victoria's Secret card, and with the thoughts of, I'm probably going to be coming through here. I have a girlfriend. I'm going to be coming through here buying stuff for her, so I might as well get a card. But then in the long run, it didn't work out. So now he has this card that he's probably not going to use. And so what do you do at that point? Do you close the card out? And that would be my first thought, right? Close the card, close the account. But the right thing, and we talked about this, but the right thing to do is actually if there's no annual fee, just keep the card. And if you can, look at who the bank, who the cards, the bank behind the card, and they might have other places, which in his case they do. They have other places that they issue cards to. So maybe you can kind of transfer that card from Victoria's Secret over to another department store that you will actually go and shop at. So you can kind of do that as well. But don't close the account. Keep that open because they did a hard pull and it will show up on your credit. So you want to hold on to that card. Let's see. Lionel, I hit my minimum spend for Chase Ink Preferred. Hello, 80,000 UR points. That's good, man. That's good. Yeah. Chase Sapphire, the Chase Ink Business Preferred. Chase has some really good business cards. And I have I have 3 total, but the other one was a United Explorer Plus, that business card. I have that one. I got 75,000 bonus on that one. I have the Chase Ink Business Unlimited. That's equivalent to the Chase Freedom Unlimited, but the Chase Freedom Unlimited doesn't give you any bonus, any sign-up bonus at all. The Chase Ink Business Unlimited gives you 50,000. So that sign-up bonus is 50,000. Same card for the most part. I mean, it's the business version, but it's 1.5 on all spend. So it's the same card as that unlimited as far as the benefits. But you get that 50,000 bonus points. So why not go with a business card if you can justify it? If you have a business, why not go with a business card over getting just the Chase Unlimited? So yeah, Chase has some really good business cards, and plus I have the Chase Business, the Chase Ink Business Plus card, which is the same card as the preferred, but I got mine before they launched the preferred. So the benefit of the card that I have, though, and the reason that I don't switch over to the Ink Preferred is because I get 5 points back at office supply stores, and so I like that a lot better, getting the 5 points back, whereas you get 3 points with the Chase Preferred. So, all right, let's see, Enrique. Best way to hit 4,000 minimum spend? ? Okay, so, it depends on your spending habits, right? But the first thing that I always tell people when it comes to hitting minimum spends, you need to find out how much you spend a month. So don't get the card right away. Just wait a little bit. Wait a couple months and just see what your normal spend is. Or if you have a bank account, online bank account, you can go back and see what your spend is every month. And then you can kind of gauge it by that. So, okay, yeah, I spend about $1,500 a month. And if you spend $1,500 a month, then you should easily be able to hit that minimum spend. So that's one way. That's one way to think about it. You can also pay up on things. So you get your car insurance, right? Usually they have, you can break it down in installments, or you can pay it all off at once. So you can look into stuff like that, stuff that's prepaid. So pay it all off. Other things that you can pay all off, up front, or that they'll credit your account, like utilities, that maybe they'll credit your account if you pay a lump sum. You can think about doing it that way. That way you hit that minimum spend, and this is money that you're going to spend anyway down the road, but you can just do it all up front to hit the minimum spend. Especially if you're in a situation where, let's say, you spent $2,500 on this card and you only have 2 weeks left, and you're like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I'm not going to be able to hit the minimum spend. Instead of going out and buying just things that, like frivolous things that you don't need, or just so you can hit the minimum spend, that's the wrong way to go about it. Look at your car insurance, pay that off. Other insurance that you might have, pay up on that. And that way it might be tough. That first month might be really tough because you extended yourself and you paid out all this stuff. But don't pay too much. You need to be able to pay your credit card off, all right? So pay your credit card off every month. You don't want to go too high. But what I'm saying is, this is stuff that you're going to need to pay anyway 2 or 3 months down the road. You have to pay for your insurance every month. If you pay it all up, then you'll be able to have that credit for the months. So I hope that makes sense. That's something that I would advise you do. Another thing too is if you're worried about that minimum spend, wait until you have something large to purchase and you already have the money in the bank. Like you need to buy a new refrigerator, you need to buy another appliance or something like that. Wait for that time. You have the money already. Go ahead and make that purchase, or look to family members. And I say family members, not necessarily friends, unless you really trust that friend. But you can purchase things for them if they have something that they need, or they're taking a trip. You can pay for it with your credit card, have them give you the cash, and then pay that off pay that off that way. So you can do that. Plus, it gives them some extra benefits too, and that's kind of the thing you want to push as well. Is like they can get some extra benefits because it's kind of hard. Now, I've never done that, so maybe you shouldn't tell people that. I've never done it, but you do, just using your credit card, you are going to get some benefits, travel benefits. They might not qualify for like travel insurance. I don't think that they would, because they're on the trip. I don't know how that would all play out. So maybe you shouldn't tell them that, but there is a possibility that they might be able to get it. So that's something, I guess, if it happened, you call up your creditor and say, hey, I was or I paid for it. I don't know how that would all work, but they might be entitled to it. Let's see. Okay. So yeah, so the 4,000, just find out how much you spend, but you need to make sure you hit that minimum spend. If you can't hit the minimum spend, don't get the card. don't get the card. And what the way that you should kind of gauge this, and I tell people this as well, like when you're looking at getting these travel credit cards, when you get the more flexible cards like the Chase Sapphire Preferred, the Chase, or not the Chase, but the City, thank you, Premier card, or not really the Amex, the Blue card. Yeah. So if you get those cards and they have the sign up bonus and they tell you it's going to be 3,000 or 4,000 minimum spend, those cards they're all going to be kind of around that 3,000 or 4,000 for the minimum spend. But if you look into getting an airline card, so let's say you already fly with an airline and you kind of made that commitment to fly with American or to fly with United or to fly with Delta, look at those cards and look at that as being your first card. And the reason that I say that is because usually the minimum spend is 2,000 or 1,000 in 3 months. So you're going to need to get one of those cards anyway. You just will, because you're going to want to get the free check bags. You're going to want to get the priority boarding. So as long as you've realized, hey, I like flying on JetBlue. So you like flying on JetBlue? Okay, get the JetBlue card, and you'll get those little added extra things. And it's a card that you're going to keep long term because you're going to need to get that card anyway. So get that card. See how hard it is for you to hit that minimum spend, and then go on to getting maybe one of the more flexible cards. Because then at that point, okay, yeah, you know what? It wasn't that hard to spend $2,000 in 3 months. So I should probably be able to spend $3,000 in 3 months, or $4,000 in 3 months. Okay. So D. Anderson saying he's not a churner as well. Yeah. And D. Anderson was showing all the cards that he had. And yeah, I advise against churning. I'm not one of those people that's big on churning. And what churning is, just so you know, just for you, those of you who just came in. So if you're churning, then basically you're getting cards. And what people used to do, they're really cracking down. Like credit card companies are really cracking down on it. But they would like open up 3 accounts at once. Hit those, get the 3 accounts at one, or 3 accounts, get 3 cards at one time, just like hit send. And then and some people would say, oh, it would only give you one ding, like one hard pull would be what would be recorded. So they get accepted for these, approved for these 3 cards. They'd hit the minimum spend on the 3 cards. And now let's say they're 50,000 for each minimum spend. And now they have 150,000 points. And then they'd wait a month and do the same thing, do another 3 pulls. Or another 3 cards, and then they'd wait another month. They'd do another, and they just keep doing this all throughout the year, and they would just amass all these cards, and they'd have all these points, and now they're flying everywhere. It's all luxury, all that good stuff. The only problem is, it looks bad to creditors when you have a lot of different credit cards and you've gotten them all within the span of like 6 months or a year. You have all these credit cards. When I say all, like 10, 15 credit cards. It looks bad. Makes you look unstable. Makes you look like you're ready to run. Like you're gonna get all these credit cards. You're gonna max all the credit cards out, and then you're gonna leave the country and go somewhere or something. Or you're just gonna max them all out, and just your credit is gonna. You're just not gonna pay them, and your credit's gonna go down. But who cares? You've spent all this money, and you've been able to get all these toys and stuff that you wanted. So creditors really don't like to see that. Now over time, it's not a problem. So over 2-3 years, you have 10 cards. It doesn't look bad because you've waited time between getting these different cards. So that's what you don't want to do, is you don't want to churn. And that's just my advice. There's some people that do it and they swear by it, and they're Reddit, whatever they call it, subreddits or whatever, that are just about churning, and you have people that are on YouTube that talk just about churning. But one thing, credit, the banks hate it, and that's why they crack down on it, and that's why they have these 524 rules and all this other stuff. The 230 rule, you can only open 2 in 30 days. That's why they have a lot of these different rules, because of the churners. And what the churners do is they get the card, they get the points, and they don't use a card at all. Whereas my deal is, I want to get the card. I want to use the card over time. I'm going to continue to use the card every day for all of my purchases, but I'm just paying it off every month. So I'm still accruing points with that card for the long term. So the only thing that they don't like about me is I'm not letting them get interest on me because I'm paying it off every month. Okay, Ron White, what's going on, buddy? How you doing? Uh, let's see. Is it Katig? How can you do it? My credit score was five. Or wait. Oh, hey, you can do it. My credit score was 525 at one time. I'm now at 801 and 803. It takes a while. Cool, man. That's really good. Yeah. So in little taking little steps, just little steps can really help your credit. So yeah, don't. I would never give up on the credit. That credit thing should be something that you're working on constantly. And once you get it up there, you want to make sure you can keep it up there because you need it. You need it. In this day and age, you need good credit. So work on it, get it up there. If you made mistakes, hey, we all make mistakes, right? Just try to improve on it. Every day, do little things here and there. But the first thing you need to do is you need to find out what it is. So find out what that credit score is. Get that credit report, and then look at your credit report. Make sure everything is that's on that credit report is yours. You'd be surprised with the way the way it is now, where you have the dark web and all this stuff going on. You have people stealing identities and everything. You'd be surprised. You might have some stuff on your credit that's not yours, a credit card that you didn't know anything about. And so you can address that by disputing it and writing to the creditors and letting them know, hey, this doesn't belong to me. And so they can take that stuff off your credit, as well as if you do have things that have been on there for a long time, then you might be able to get those off your credit as well. Plus, if you have like collections, you have stuff that's going on that's still, outstanding, you can call them and try to work something out with them and see if they can take it off your credit if you pay it all off. Or you can tell them, hey, I'm trying to improve my credit, so I'm looking at all the different creditors. I'm looking at all the different creditors because I want to start paying them off. Would you be willing to take it off my credit? And if they say yes, then you're good. If they say no, well, then now you have to kind of figure that out, how you're going to work that. But it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt to get out there and just try to find out what you can do to get your credit, to get your credit improved. Let's see. Okay, we lost our place here. Okay, Lionel, helpful hint. Your credit score will climb faster if you keep at least $1 at the statement close date. Okay, then pay the balance due date. Banks don't see your history if nothing is showing. Okay, that's a good tip there, Lionel. He's saying keep a little bit, just like $1, but not. You're gonna pay it off, but you keep the $1 in there just so it will post as $1, and then pay it off at that point, just so you have something. When I'm saying pay your credit cards all off, pay the balance, the outstanding balance every 2 weeks or every month. So that's what I'm saying. Because if you have with credit cards, they're going to close it at a certain period every month. So they'll close it. When they close it, then it will post, okay, you owe this amount. So you might owe 800, but you have 1,000 in your account, your credit account, or you might owe 800, but your balance shows 1,000. Well, you need to pay that 800, okay, that for that month. And then you can pay the 1,000 later. You can pay the 1,000 right after the month ends if you want to do that. But make sure you're paying that balance off every month. You don't pay the minimum, but pay the balance that posted for that month. Okay, maybe because I have a 1,500 limit. Okay, and that, Derek, that's probably a big problem because, and Derek is the one that was talking about getting a travel credit card. A lot of travel credit cards, they start at like 5,000 and work up. So as far as the limits that they'll let you get. So one thing you can try doing, Derek, is you can try to see if you can get some credit, if you can get a credit increase on the card that you already have. So that $1,500, see if you can get it increased to 5,000. And then if you get increased to 5,000, other creditor, like if you go to Chase and you're trying to get the Chase Freedom card or the Chase Sapphire Preferred card, they're going to look at that and say, okay, well, he already has a credit card that gives him 5,000, so maybe we can give him 5,000 as well. So Just something to think about. Tiger Eyes, what's going on? Los Angeles, my score bounced around. It's now 7:30. Cool. That's good. 7:30 is good. You can definitely get some travel credit cards with that. Okay, Seymour, I have. Wait, have you checked out Air France KLM card from B of A? Cool card. Just wish the bonus was higher than 25,000 miles. Yeah, and you might have to start with lower, like lower end cards. And airline, like I can't say this enough. Airline branded cards are good cards to get because you're gonna need them in the future. I Any person that's out there that plays a travel credit card game and they have travel credit cards, I guarantee you they have airline credit cards as well as the Amex. They might have Amex Platinum, Chase Sapphire Reserve, Citi Thank You Premier, whatever. I'm just saying they might have all the top cards, but they will have some airline branded cards as well. So you can start with the airline branded cards. A lot like me, I got Chase Sapphire I got the Citi Premier card first, and then I got the Advantage card, the American Airlines Advantage card, and then I got the Chase Sapphire Preferred. So that was kind of the way I started. But you can get those airline credit cards first, and the minimum spend on those cards is really low. Cashback cards, same thing. Minimum spend on a Chase Sapphire or Chase Freedom cards, $500 in 3 months. So it's not much at all. Jeremy, what's going on, buddy? Let's see. Okay, Tiger Eye saying, hope you or your viewers can cover credit consolidation to manage one's combined payments. I have not done that, so I can't really speak on that. Like I can speak on some of the other stuff. But it is an option to consolidate your credit, and then you're just paying one bill every month. That I've heard that does help your credit, but I've never done it, so I don't want to get too in depth with that. But yeah, that is something you could check out YouTube about credit consolidation. But it's something if you have a lot of credit out there, not a lot of credit, but if you have a lot of debt out there, then you can consolidate it, and that'll help you out. Plus, it's a little easier to manage because now you're only making one payment as opposed to 5 different payments going to different people and having to remember that every month. Okay. Let's see. You guys are talking about something. Altered Illusions, what's going on, buddy? I am in the middle of the 4K minimum spend. If I couldn't pay rent, I could not reach it. Okay. So are you using plastic to do that, or how are you paying rent? I'm just curious, and just for other people that are in the room. Yeah, make sure you can hit that minimum spend. And if you have to like use plastic where you have to pay a percentage, I think it's 2.5% or something like that to use plastic, just to hit that minimum spend, do it, because it's worth it at that point. Just to hit the minimum spend, because you're going to be paying a little bit to plastic in order to do that. But once you hit that minimum spend, then you pull off and you don't use plastic anymore, and you just you use regular means. So you're not paying. You don't need to pay your rent or pay your mortgage or anything like that with plastic or a company like that. Just do it the normal way that you've been doing it, and then use the card for your daily purchases. But yeah, you don't want to get in a point where you're paying a 2.5% over a long period of time with plastic. It's because you're a good example is you have Chase Sapphire Reserve. You get 3% back at dining. Well, you're eating that you're losing that when you use plastic to pay your rent, because now you're paying 2.5. You're giving them 2.5, so you're losing points when you don't have to. Okay. Okay, so Tiger, do you have the Discover card? That's Jeremy asking that. Altered Illusions, there's service to pay your rent with the card, but I don't know what the percentage is. Okay. Let's move up. Okay. Okay, so let's see. Who is this? Mr. Alexander. What's going on, buddy? Do the Amex pre-qualified offers for business gold card mean anything? Well, they can't. You need to have a business. You need to be able to at least justify a business. You can be a sole proprietor though, so you can have a business. Let's say you sell Amazon FBA, you sell on eBay, you have a little business where you're making money on the side. So you have a regular job and then you're making money on the side doing something else, a garage sale, even if you do that on a regular basis. Well, you can use that and get business cards. So if you do get the business offers, they're showing you that you're pre-qualified. Doesn't mean that you're gonna get it, but you do need to show some type of a business, some type of income that's coming in. So that would be my advice there. And I have a photography business. It's not full time. I do it part time, but I'm able to show that and I'm a sole proprietor. I don't have it's not incorporated or anything. So I'm able to show that, and I've been able to get 3 business cards with that. And they weren't automatic. One of them was automatic, where it was instant. I did it online; it was automatic. The other 2, I did it online, but they went to pending. And then I called them up. They're all Chase cards. Called them up, and just asked them if they need any information. And usually they'll ask you a few questions, and then and in my situation, they asked me a few questions just about the business. What exactly is it? And part of the reason was for photography, for whatever reason, Chase and the business, when you go scroll through all the different types of businesses and everything, it's not on there. So I had to put other, and then I had to put other again. So they want to know the industry, and then they want to know the exact business. And so I put other for both of those. So they probably were like, they needed to know what kind of business is it. So that's one of the questions they asked me. And then overall, how much do you make in a year? And that's the other question. And then after that, they approved me. So, okay, Paisa Gringo. Yeah, I booked a travel and got 2 times points. My Chase Preferred for my cousin. I got the cash, paid it off, and then helped me get paid. Okay, cool. Yeah, and so that's Paisa Gringo saying that, he got his buddies like. But I mean, they got to be close. These friends need to be close. And one thing you could do too is you can say, "Hey, you already know that you can use your credit card. You can get the check from them first, cash the check, and then make the purchase online with your credit card, or make the purchase with the credit card, and go that way. Hey, the money's there. This guy's not. He didn't give me a bounce, or the check's not going to bounce." Okay, Jeremy James, Tiger Discover. Okay, so you guys are talking about the Discover card, low fees, run 0% interest for 12 months regularly. Okay. Let's see, Derek. Most services charge 2.5. The plastic sometimes. Yeah, so that's Lionel saying that 2.5% with plastic. So, like I said, plastic is good to use to hit that minimum spend, but once you hit that minimum spend, you're not going to want to use it anymore. But if you're struggling to hit that, you have to hit that minimum spend. That 50,000 points or the 60,000 points, it is worth it to pay a little extra percentage if you don't think you're going to hit it. But the biggest thing, like one thing that people don't think about, and I talked about it, but I'll say it again: pay up on your stuff, like your bills. Your car insurance is a huge one, because I know I pay like 4 installments on my car payment. So like our car payment, my car insurance, I pay 4 installments. You could pay that all up, and that's a nice chunk right there. And so now I don't have to worry about it for another 6 months. Or if you want to pay it up for the year, you don't have to worry about it for the whole year. You've paid it up, but you need to make sure you have that money in the account in order to do something like that. But over time, you're going to benefit from it. So it'll kind of, if you have money, I guess what I'm saying is, put it this way. Let's say you have $1,000 in your savings. You don't want to use that money in your savings, but for this special time, you get the card, you want to hit the minimum spend, so you pay your car insurance for the whole year. And so you take that $1,000 out, you put the $1,000 on your credit card, like you pay it off, or $1,000. You pay off your insurance. It costs you $1,000. You take that $1,000 from your savings, you put it in your checking account. You make that payment on your credit card, and now over time, every month when you get your check, or every 2 weeks or whatever, when you get your check, just take those those installments that you would have normally paid to your insurance company and just put them right back into your savings. So you can do something like that where you're just rotating the money around. After a year, you'll be back up to where you were to begin with, but you're able to hit that minimum spend, if that makes sense. So just something to think about. Okay. Tiger has discovered card. Okay, let's move on down. Okay, and if you guys have questions specifically for me, just put TEC, just put at TEC. And then this is a perfect time. You guys are in here right now. We have a little over 20 people. Hit the like button so we can pull some more people in, and we'll just have more people in here to discuss improving your credit. Let's see, Altered Illusion, Derek, 3%. Let's see, you're frozen 3. Okay, I froze all 3 of my credit reports and put fraud alerts even if I apply. The creditors call me. That's cool. That's good. So that's Anderson saying that. So he's got a freeze on all of his credit. So anytime he applies for new credit, then the creditors will call him just so he knows no one else is getting in there using his account. I don't go that drastic. I just have, like I said, I use Experian, and the reason that I use Experian is because and I pay for the service every month, but I just, anytime something opens up on my account, they're automatically going to notify me to let me know that someone's using my account, or not using my account. Sorry, someone opened up an inquiry, and it's always been me. I haven't had an experience yet where it wasn't me, but they're just letting me know, hey, you opened up an inquiry, and they're fast too. Like it's. The last credit card that I opened, or that I applied for, before I got the email from the creditor saying, congratulations, all that, I got an email from Experian saying that there was an inquiry. So, and I mean, it happened in a matter of a minute. So they're that quick when it comes to responding. Oh, Nate and Jess, what's going on? Just got my Southwest Priority raid rewards card with 6,000 point or 60,000 bonus points. All right, cool. I'm not big on Southwest, but yeah, that's good. That's good for you. And obviously Nate and Jess, so if you guys use that companion pass, you guys will be set. Let's see, rapid rewards. Okay, what do you think about gaining an authorized usership? So, and this is Mr. Alexander. So and this is something that I don't know if I would do it, but people do this, and it does help your credit. And so what he's saying, like an authorized user. So let's say I have a credit card. I've had this credit card for 10 years. So I've established credit for 10 years. It's good credit. I've always paid the credit card off on time. And I add, let's say I add my mom as authorized user. So if she becomes an authorized user of my card, she will inherit my credit for that card. So she'll inherit the time, so that 10 years she'll inherit, and the history of how I've been paying it on time and all that good stuff. So it can improve someone's credit. So if you have bad credit, you can become an authorized user on someone else's account, and you will inherit their good credit. And so it will help your credit is what I'm saying. So people do this, and actually there's some people that will sell this, which I think I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, they will sell their, or do like a Patreon. Hey, pay me $20 a month and you can become an authorized user. They never get an actual card. They don't get a physical card, but they sign up, they're an authorized user, and so they will inherit the credit. So they're not able to use the credit cards or anything like that. They're just able to inherit the credit. And then that will help them to get future cards because now their credit will jump up. So I have heard people doing this, and I have seen some people like online talk about it and offer that kind of a service where they'll make you an authorized user on their credit. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, it's not something that I think I would be interested in, like allowing people to be authorized users. But yeah, people are doing that, and it's something I don't need it for myself, but it's something that I'm really curious about because it's like, really, you could do that? That's pretty easy. Like that's one of those deals where maybe you can push people to the people that are doing it. You can kind of say, yeah, you know what, you want to improve your credit? You can try this. Go to this, this YouTube channel or this blog or whatever, and maybe you can be an authorized user with them. Okay. And it would be, I think, the way that they kind of really promote it is it's a way to bump your credit up so you can start getting your own credit cards. And then once you get your own credit cards, then you don't need to have that anymore because you'll start establishing your good credit. Hopefully, you're paying your bills and everything. And then you don't need to keep paying that $20 a month or $30 a month or what have you. Okay. And Altered Illusions is saying plastic rules keep changing. So I was lucky. My apartment took my Chase Sapphire Preferred. Okay, cool. So your apartment actually takes it, which is uncommon. Most apartments, complexes, and mortgage, they're not going to take a credit card. But in his case, they do take it, so that's good. But yeah, plastic does change their rules, and I do think I don't know if they allow mortgages anymore. I know they've changed something. I don't have a plastic card. I'm not interested in getting one or anything like that. But I haven't. I've been able to hit all my minimum spends, and that includes 5,000. So the last minimum spend, the United Explorer card, yes, it's 75,000 a point sign up bonus, but you need to spend $5,000 within 3 months to do it. I was able to do that. Now that was close. That one I cut close. I got it with a week to spare. I hit the 5,000, and I called. And you should do this anyway. Call them and find out if you hit that minimum spend because that is the most important thing for you to do when you get a card is to hit the minimum spend. All right, TEC. I have 134,500 total credit limit. Then one business charge card and 2 personals. All right, cool, David. That's cool, and that's a huge limit. You can buy a nice Tesla with that. I got a nice Tesla. It's interesting to see. Like, yeah, my credit limit is not that high, but it's interesting to see like you have that much available credit. Like, what you could think, wow, I could just buy something with a credit card. Not that you would want to do that. I highly advise you not to do that. But it is interesting just to see how much credit you can amass, like revolving credit. Let's see. TEC, I am over 524. My last card was 424. NFCU. And let's see. It's the next 5 year. Wait. It will drop off. But it's from the last card I opened. Okay. Let's move on. There you don't. Okay. My wife and I were engaged on the thing. Told them we're getting married. I wanted to increase my limit for the wedding. Okay, and so Nate raises a good point here too. And another thing too and I talked a little bit about it, but you can ask for credit increases. So understand some credit cards, they will do a hard pull if you ask for a credit increase. Not all of them will. So you just need to find out which ones do and which ones don't. I can't tell you offhand which ones do and which ones don't, but if you do call them, most of the Chase cards will do a hard pull. But if you're calling them, asking them for a credit increase, you can ask them, do you guys do a hard pull or is this a soft pull? But it's something to consider and to think about if you want to increase your credit limits with the cards that you have. Just that alone will raise your ceiling when it comes to your credit limit, and then in turn your credit utilization will go down without doing anything else but just calling them and seeing if you can get a credit increase. So Nate and James, or Nate and Jess, basically he's just saying that that's what they did. They were getting married, so he called the bank to see if they could increase his credit limit. In 2020, I meant 5 inquiries will fall off. Okay, all right. Nika baby, hey, the bank doubled my limit. Normally they would have said no. Okay, and so Nate's saying that they doubled his limit. So with that, when he asked for the increase for the wedding, and yeah, they'll probably ask you why you want the increase, and you want to have something something to give them other than the fact that, oh, I just want to improve my credit. So you want to have something. So you want to think about how you can something to tell them that will make them think, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I was always more organic with my credit. Chase now has a tool that tells you where you are with the minimum spend. Okay, that's Altered Illusion saying that, and that's good. That's good that they have that tool. But me personally, I guess I'm old fashioned. I still want to call. I want to get some verbal, like a verbal notification. Yes, you did reach your minimum spend. That way, if anything comes back, I can always say I called on this date and I talked to this person. And well, I probably won't know the actual person, but I called on this date, and it should have record the fact that I called and I inquired about the if I hit minimum spend. And they told me that I did. Plus, they record the calls too. So just a little bit more. I did what I needed to do to find out if I hit the minimum spend. That way, it won't come back to me. Hopefully, in a negative way, where they'll just say, "Well, if you're checking on the website, you could say, well, I checked on the website and it showed me there's no proof of that, but there is a proof of a call." So, let's see, credit increase to the credit limit union to help raise my score. Open things up for cards that require higher limits. Okay, so Nate's saying, Nate and Jess, I don't know if it's Nate or Jess, but Nate and Jess are saying that when he got that credit limit increase, then it will help. It should help you. One, it will drop your utilization down, so that percentage will go down, and then it will also help you because you have a higher credit limit on a card now. So when you apply for other cards, that, let's say if you have a $10,000 limit on the card, you got the increased up to $10,000. Well, now other credit cards, you might be able to qualify for those as well because you already have a card that has 10,000 credit limit. So now if you want to get the Chase Sapphire Reserve, which requires a 10,000 credit limit, then you might be able to get that a lot easier. Okay. All right. So Amex does soft pull. NFCU, they do hard pulls. Ask for lower credit limit, but they ask for 25,000 to soft pull your credit. Okay, so and Anderson's just showing you some of the people who do hard pulls and soft pulls. Even I would still ask. So if you call Chase and you want to know, find out directly from them for each card. Hey, is this a hard pull, soft pull, and then go along those lines. Now, if you're in a situation where you need to get, let's say you want to have let's say it's worth it. There might be situations where it's worth it to even do that hard pull to raise your credit limit because you want to get a card in the future. And that card, it looks better if you have a higher credit limit and your utilization will go down. So you might take a ding for the hard pull, 4 to 6 points for the hard pull, but then your credit utilization will go down because you'll have more credit available to you. So that might help you, as well as 2 to 3 months down the road, your credit will jump back up and even higher. So just something to think about. That hard pull at some point, in some situations, a hard pull could be worth it. It's Nate. All right, Nate. Okay, TC. Yeah, I know someone that will put me on the cards for free, or put me on the cards for a fee, but I have a secured card that I can increase the limit up to 100,000, but I have to put in cash. Okay, so that's Derek saying that. Yeah, there are people out there that will do for a fee. They'll make you an authorized user. But if you can avoid it, I would really just try to work on my credit on my own and not really rely on other people. And then if it does get to that point where you need to, then maybe it's something you can consider. And I mean, I don't know, like, how legal is that? It just sounds weird. Like, there was a guy on YouTube that was showing like 100 cards that he had authorized users, because you never get the card, but he made all these people authorized users. It just, what is a credit card company thinking? Like they're gonna issue 100 cards to all these people, or not to all these people. You get what I'm saying? Like, he has an account, he's authorizing 100 people to be authorized users. I can see if it's a business account, I guess that would make sense because you have employees. But if it's, I don't know how that works. Like how they get away with doing that. Let's see. They say they record but they never find them. Altered Illusions saying, yeah, they say they record the calls, but they never find them. They'll only find them when they need to find them to pull it up, to benefit them, I guess. Yeah, this call is recorded for quality assurance. All right. Any other questions, guys? Please post in the chat. Right now, please hit the like button if you're here. If you guys are new to the channel, also please subscribe. We do live streams every Saturday and Monday, and I put out videos. I try to do daily videos, and I've been pretty good about doing videos almost every day. Like, I'll miss maybe one day a week. And most of the videos I'm putting out right now are about the travel credit cards, just kind of doing a review of each travel credit card that's out there. And I'm starting to revamp all the old reviews that I've done, so making it for 2019. One of the things that you'll find out when you start getting into travel credit cards, they change rapidly, constantly. You're going to have cards changing their benefits, downgrading benefits. Some cards will do new promotions and stuff like that. So there's always stuff that's going on with the travel credit cards. So it's good to do one at least a year. And so from now on, the top cards, I say like the top 20 cards that are out there, I'm going to do updates every year on those cards, or updates when they're needed. So if they make a change, let's say I did one in 2019, but now they're downgrading some of their features, and then we'll talk about that. I'll do another video on those. And we also do videos about travel. So I will talk about my travels. I like to do affordable travel. That's what I'm all about. I like to go to these destinations. I'm big on photography, so I go to these destinations and I take pictures, take award-winning photos. That's my goal. But I like to go to the affordable places. So I go to South America. I go to Central America. I will go overseas every once in a while. I went to Thailand. I've gone to Paris. So I show you guys those trips as well. But I try to center it around how you can do it for the least amount of money, and how much things cost in certain areas. Colombia is one of my favorite destinations, and I put out a lot of videos that deals specifically with Colombia and how affordable it is to vacation out there. It's an amazing place to go because your money goes so far. When you step off that plane, your dollar, let's say you have $100 in your pocket. When you step off that plane, that $100 becomes $300, just like that, just because of the cost. And it becomes $300 because things are so much cheaper. You're eating dinner for $6, $7. You're eating, you can eat a full day's, eat out, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and it'll run you maybe $15 for that whole thing. We're talking sit down restaurants, good food. Food is really good out there as far as the way it's prepared and the quality of the food is really good. So yeah, that's what we talk about on the channel. So just stop by. If you're new here, like I said, hit the subscribe button, hit that little bell notification so you'll get notified. Anytime I go live, you're gonna get notified. Anytime I put out a video, you'll get notified. And that's very important too, because you want to know. Like, if I go live on Saturday and Monday, but I also jump in, just randomly jump in just to go live and tell you about something. There might be a good deal that's out there, or there might be something that I think is really in the travel world, something that's really interesting that I want to share with you. Or if I'm traveling, like when I'm in Hawaii next month, I'll be jumping on live whenever I can, but it's not going to be a set time. So I'll just be jumping on. So you'll at least know that I'm on live, and you get to see what I'm doing, what I'm up to in Hawaii. All right, so let's move on. Let's see, other questions. What's going on, Hip? Let's see. Yeah, and so Nate is saying that he could see them cracking down on the authorized users. Yeah, it just seems really strange to me how credit card companies are okay with. I'm sure they're not okay with it because you're getting an authorized user, but the person's not using the card. So I can't see them being okay with it, and it just seems weird. You're allowing people to improve their credit, but it's just a whole weird thing. And then it gets to a point too where, I mean, I don't know, like if they're able to increase their credit and take on your credit, does that hurt people who have good credit overall? Because now everyone has good credit because everyone's an authorized user, so they're not doing anything. They're not showing that maturity, that responsibility when it comes to getting good credit on their own. They're using someone else's credit, and so now all of us that have 760s, it kind of devalues everyone, if that makes sense, or it makes it less important, because if you can just get it for $20 a month as opposed to working on it to get your credit to where it is, then it kind of devalues that whole credit. Okay, let's move on down. I wanted to upgrade my Venture One to Capital One Venture. They wouldn't do it officially. I hate Capital One now. That Tip saying that. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't know what that whole situation was, but yeah, that is unfortunate. Um, all you can do is keep trying, I guess, or maybe move on to Chase. Chase is a good ecosystem to get in, so maybe you should consider that. Anderson is saying 524, does it count for the last card opened? Example, my last card was 423. So the easiest way to find out the 524 is just to pull your credit report. So if you have like one of the services already, just pull your credit and see, and you can just 24 months, just count down and find out how many inquiries you had in that time, and then you'll know exactly where you stand when it comes to that 524. And then you can also, like, if you are 524, I've heard of people going in branch, so going into the Chase, if you have a Chase in your area, and trying to get a card that way, or just asking them, do I qualify for any cards? Like, am I pre-qualified for any cards? And it doesn't hurt too to have a bank account with Chase if you can do that. So that's another thing to think about. Maybe just opening up an account, put $200 in there, and just kind of having that in there, and then going into the branch, and then kind of going that route. Fatigue. Also, when I applied for the United Explorer card, Chase gave me $1,200 credit, or $12,500 credit limit. I was surprised, but please, all my hard work on getting my credit cards back on track. Yeah. Okay, but please. Okay, I'm reading that wrong. Yeah, so then 12,500. That's good. That's a good credit limit there with that United Explorer card. So that's Katig saying that. Altered Illusions have no more Capital One cards for me. They pull from all three. That's good. That's a good point there, Altered Illusions. So they pull from all three, when all three credit bureaus, when you get a Capital One card. So just something to think about there. Did you see Sebi recent best Chase personal card ranked? He put the Hyatt card at number 2. Yeah, and it depends. This is Rolo saying that about How about Ask Sebi? He put out a video. I really like that Hyatt card. I really do. The World of Hyatt card is definitely a card that I use all the time. And I put out a video I think it was last week, that was just about that. Like, my favorite card when it comes to hotels is the Hyatt card. Now, that Aspire card, the Hilton Aspire card, is a very good card, but it's a top tier card. We're talking $450 annual fee. The Hyatt card's $95 annual fee. You get the free night, so that offsets it right there. Now, the Aspire card does have some really good credits. So you get $250 airline credit and then a $250 hotel credit. So right there, that's $500. That's over the $450. So you can easily hit that minimum spend. I'm sorry, you can easily hit that annual fee every year. But you have to make a commitment with Hilton, and I'm just not ready to do it. I don't know. I've only stayed at one Hilton property that I really liked. And other than that, I have not been satisfied with Hilton properties. Maybe it's someday, and I'll do more experimenting. They have a lot of different properties, so there's plenty of properties that I can stay, or that I can go stay at and kind of maybe see. But just right now, I'm happy with Hyatt, and I really like that World of Hyatt card. James, what's going on? Let's see. I opened 7 cards since April 2nd, 2018. I had 2 since 2015. Didn't apply then. Okay. All right, Anderson. And I can't remember what we were talking about about your cards, but yeah, that's great. Jessica, how you doing? Let's see. Yeah, going to get $300 for opening the Chase checking. That's something I haven't done yet. I need to do that. They always send me stuff. I'm sure if you have any Chase credit cards, they always send you this get the $300 for opening up either a business. Like, they always send the business account for me. Open up a business account, fund it, and then do these little steps, and then you get the $300. Something that I keep putting off, but it's something that I need to do. In setting up a $500 a month direct deposit. Okay, that's cool. You know what? What I'll do is when I hit, when my YouTube goes over, because right now, and I'll tell you, I have no secrets. Well, I have secrets, but I don't need to have a secret about how much I make. I make like $400 a month on YouTube. So once I get it to that $500 plus a month, then that'll be my direct deposit. My YouTube AdSense will be my direct deposit into that bank account there. Okay. So for those of you who think, oh, hey, you make a lot of money on YouTube. No, not really. Not really. It's great. I mean, it's a nice little, let me just charge my phone up real quick. It's a nice little extra money, but I'm not doing this for the money. I'm actually doing this because this is the way I learned. I learned by getting online about travel credit cards. I learned a lot of stuff. Photography is another thing. Getting on YouTube, that's how I learned. So now I'm just kind of giving back where I'm here, and hey, we can talk about it. Some stuff I know, some stuff I don't, but we have people usually that can help out if you guys have questions and stuff. So that's why I do it. It's not for like the money, but it's nice. You get $300-$400 a month. I can use that to get new equipment and stuff. So that's good. Okay. Plus, it's fun just being on here talking with you guys. Believe it or not, it's actually very satisfying. Let's see. TEC high card is definitely on my radar for my next card. So that's Nate. Nate saying that. Yeah, it's a good card. It's just, well, it's the property that's good. The property makes the card good because I like staying at high properties. So it was a no-brainer. And I already had, I didn't get the sign-up bonus, which was really, but what can you do? I already had the card. I already had the Hyatt card, the old one. And so I just switched it over because that was the only option. They gave me I think 2,000 points or something. It was minimal points that they gave me. But I couldn't apply for it to get the new one. So I just switched over and that's how I got it. But it has some extra perks, though, as far as the earn possibility on the card's better. Thanks for the super chat, Jeremy. Appreciate it, buddy. Yeah, it's just I don't know. I guess looking, yeah, that's the only thing I could have done. I mean, I could have canceled my card, I guess. Then you had to wait a period of time. I don't even know how long you have to wait. It might be 2 years. I don't know how long it is, but I would have had to wait and then apply for the new one. So I didn't want to do that. And like closing an account is not good. So yeah, I just did it. Now you're 402 a month. Thanks, Jeremy. Yeah, 402. That's funny. All right. Any other questions, guys? Please put it in the chat, and please hit the like button now so we can get more people in here. We got about looks like about 23 people. And if you guys have, we can look at a credit card if you guys want to do that. If you guys want to post one of those, we can look at a credit card, travel credit card, right now. Just kind of look at over review it. If you guys have questions, we can hopefully answer your questions. But yeah, let's see. TC, do you think I should wait to see what the next bonus will be for the World of Hyatt card, or do you think you should? Yeah, I think you should just get it. That offer, the offer right now, you know, that's a card we'll look at since we're talking about it so much. The offer right now is, I think what was it, 50,000, but it's like 25 and 25. Let me pull this up real quick. Yeah, so it's 50,000. Okay. So it's 50,000, but they break it up. I don't like how they're doing these tiered bonuses, but it is what it is. I mean, so you just kind of have to roll with it. Now, last year they didn't have, it wasn't set up like this. So this is something that they did it a few months ago, where they changed the sign up. Before, I think the sign up bonus was 60,000 too. So let's go ahead and take a look at the card, though. Oh, you guys can't even see what I'm looking at. Well, I didn't realize I was just talking. I didn't have the little side thing there so you guys can see it. Okay, let's pull up the desktop here. All right, so 50,000. And so I'll do a quick review of the card, and then we'll talk a little bit about it. And so the first thing I always look at is the sign up, or the annual fee. Annual fee on this card is $95. Okay, so it's $95. It's not waived the first year, so you are going to have to pay it up front. So just be aware of that. You should be able to pay $95. And think of it this way: you're going to get a free night. So the anniversary year, you'll get a free night. So you'll be able to redeem that. And then every year, that $95 that free night should equate to $95 or more. And if it doesn't, then you should make sure you stay at a hotel where it's over $95. So it makes sense. The hotel cards, for the most part, make sense. And the main reason they make sense is because if you think about it, I'm going to stay, if they give free nights, I'm going to stay at least one night in a hotel every year. And if you're going to stay at least one night at a hotel every year, then this card will pay for itself, because you'll be able to get that free night. The free night at a Hyatt. Okay, and some of the other stuff we're looking at. So we looked at the 50,000 sign up bonus. So you're going to earn 25,000 bonus points. That's after spending $3,000 within the first 3 months. Okay, and then you'll get an additional 25,000 bonus points. That's after spending 6,000 total on all purchases within 6 months. So basically, you need to spend another 3,000, and you don't have to really break it. I don't think they break it up that way. I think you just spend. The first thing is you need to spend that 3,000 in the first 3 months. So that should be your first focus. But then over time, that extra 3 month period, you need to spend another 3,000. So I guess what I'm saying is that first month, you can't spend 2,000 in the first month, or the first 3 months spend 2,000, and then expect to spend 4,000 in the next 3 months. Doesn't work like that. You have to hit that minimum spend for the first 25,000, and then you move on and hit the other minimum spend to get that 50,000. All right, let's see some of the earn possibility with this card. You're going to get 9 points for every dollar spent at Hyatt stays, and so you do need to sign up for the World of Hyatt. Okay, you need to be a World of Hyatt member, and that's what will give you the 5 base points per dollar spent, and then you're going to get 4 points for every dollar spent if you're not a member. Now, membership is free. Why not join? Like, why not sign up for it? And that's another reason why I always push people when they get on like the third party Hotwire, hotels.com, all that, they're booking their hotel stays through them. I don't advise doing that. I think it's better to go directly through the hotel, whether it's Hilton, Hyatt, Marriott, IHG. Go directly to the hotel website and book it. Sign up for their reward program. That way you're earning points. And then you have some safety with that, because you can always contact them directly and say, hey, I booked this. Can I change it to this? Can I change it to that? And usually they'll allow you to do that. So it's just something that you should really go through the hotel chain. And it doesn't take much. Like, people go to these third-party websites because it's easier. That's what, I just want to go on there. I want to book my airfare. I want to book my hotel, book my car rental, and do it all in one place. Well, you can think of it that way, but the way that I look at things, I would much rather do it separately and do it directly with the different companies. That way, I know exactly what I'm getting, and I'm picking exactly what I want. One of the things, my parents, the trip to Hawaii, they booked their airfare and all that stuff through a travel agent. And my parents are old fashioned. That's the way they do things. Call up on the phone, book it through the travel agent. The travel agent's putting in all the numbers and all that stuff. So they're basically picking your trip for you. You can kind of say, well, I'd like to stay here or I'd like to stay there, and they'll kind of work around that and then give you whatever the price is. But I personally, like, I want to know exactly what I'm getting. So I want to do it on my own. And I try to get my parents to think that way. Like, there's an internet now. You can go on the internet and you can book, you can see all the pictures of the different hotels and you can book exactly what you want. But they're just old fashioned. They don't want to go through all that hassle, one, and they don't trust it. They trust the old fashioned call on the phone, get the travel agent, or go into a travel agent and book it that way. So, yeah. All right. Let's see. 2 points for every dollar spent on dining out and taking off. So basically for airfare, for dining at restaurants, and transit. So taxis. And so that's good too. Like taxis and stuff like that, you get 2 points for every dollar spent. That's not bad. And I would think Uber is also included with that. 2 points. Let's see, 2 points for staying healthy. So for gym membership, this is a big one because I can't think of another card that's going to give you benefits like that for fitness. So this is a good one. So 2 points for every dollar spent. So I have this linked into my membership at the gym, and so every month they take out the $20 and it goes right to that. So I get 2 points every month for that, or I guess 40 points total. Okay, 1 point for every dollar spent for all other purchases. You get a free night stay starting at 5,000 points, or free night stay start at 5,000. So this is one of the big reasons why Hyatt is very what's the word I'm looking for? Hyatt properties, you don't have to use a lot. The points go a long way. So that 50,000 points, if I stay at a Category 1 hotel, and Category 1 hotel is usually going to be like a Hyatt place, I can do it for 5,000 points. Okay, and that's great. Like a free night, 5,000 points. You look at Marriott, you look at IHG, you look at Hilton, and you'll see usually it's 10,000, 15,000 and higher in order to stay at a property. I want to pull up, let's see, category. Oh, I'm doing this all wrong, but let's see if we can pull up the different category locations. Oh, I just want to see. Usually they have like a layout and they show you all the different category hotels and the Hyatt hotels and where they're located, just so you can kind of get an idea. They pull this up. I just want to see. Okay, so overall, that's all. Okay, so category ones. Just curious. I haven't done this before, but we'll see what pops up here. Hit search. I think it's searching right now, so we'll give it a second to refresh. But well, yeah, I just want to pull up all the different category ones throughout the U.S. and I think it goes all over. So and you see, like I said, usually they're Hyatt Place. Some of them are Hyatt House properties. Now Hyatt Place, I like Hyatt Place, and we'll pull up one of these. But the beauty of this is all these different hotels here. These are all category ones. These are all 5,000 points, so you can use 5,000 points and stay a night for free. And the beauty of a Hyatt Place hotel, free breakfast. That's the number one thing that I like about it. And the hotels or the rooms are pretty spacious. Like you'll have this little area where you can they'll have a couch in there. So you have an area where you can sit down and kind of, just hang out. And then you'll have a separate area where you have your bedroom. So your bed and all that good stuff. And then the bathroom and all that. And so it's a real good benefit that Hyatt has. And another thing too, that's important is the fact that let's see, just lost a train of thought. I got a message there and lost my train of thought. Now California, guess what? One. Okay, we finally have one. We didn't have one before, but California for the longest didn't have any. Some states have a lot more category ones. Now a Hyatt House is more long term, so they'll have the little kitchen in there and everything in there. Generally, they're pretty nice. The layout's pretty nice. So let's just randomly pick the Alabama Hyatt Place here, and I just want to show you. Usually, the layout is the same, and I've stayed in Hyatts all over the world, and usually it's pretty much the same. Even to the setup here looks exactly like I've stayed in a Hyatt out in where is that? I think it's Ontario, California. Back in the old days when I thought, you know what, I'm just going to stay a couple extra nights here at the at the Hyatt just so I can get more stays. Not worth it in the long run. Really isn't. For the benefits that you get with the elite status, it's really not worth it. Yeah, let's see. I'm just going to open up the room pictures just to kind of show you what I was talking about. But yeah, Hyatt, definitely worth it. 5,000 points. I mean, it's unheard of. And if you have the thing is if you have points in Chase, so I have my points all set up in Chase, right? And I want to make a decision on where I want to stay. Would I stay at a property where I only need to use 5,000 points to stay for free, or would I stay at a property where I need to use 15,000 points to stay for free? So, and that's the difference between staying at a Marriott or staying at a Hyatt, like the lower level, lower end hotel. So yeah, here's a layout here. Kind of like I was saying, you always have this little divider here, divider on the right side, and then you'll have the little area right here where you can kind of sit down and relax. This pulls out to a bed as well, so if you have, let's say you want to have, you can have up to six people in there, like 3 couples. You have a queen size bed here, and then this bed over here that pulls out, and you have a little kind of divider, so it's nice. And this is pretty much the setup. For most of the rooms are all set up like this. No matter where you stay at a Hyatt Place, they're pretty much the same. The rooms are always clean, nice bed, comfortable bed, and I can't. I mean, they're definitely worth it. That's just my opinion when it comes to Hyatt. When it comes to that, let's see. I wanted to look at one other one. We'll just back out and just show you a Hyatt house. I'm really selling for Hyatt right now. They should give me like some kind of a sponsorship. But I really like their properties, so I don't mind talking about properties that are worth it. So we'll go to Connecticut here. There's a Hyatt house, and this is more of a long-term setup. So this is if you're staying somewhere long-term, this is what you're gonna want. And when I say long, like weeks, where you'll have this set up. And I believe they actually have washer dryer. You have to pay for them, and I believe they do have washer dryers here. Okay, so that's a sweet. Let's just do regular room. Okay, but you see how it's set up. Now this is a regular room, right? Um, it's pretty nice for a regular room. You have your own little separate area here, and then they all have the little kitchen. So you have your little kitchen area here. So it's really nice, and this is a category 1. This costs you 5,000 points. I mean, that's that's pretty crazy. If just to think about it. So yeah, they're nice. They're definitely nice. All right, let's see some of the other benefits on this card. And they do show you here. So if you get the 50,000, if you do hit the sign up bonus, then you're gonna get equivalent of 10 night stay out of category 1. And now if you spend 15,000 on this card, then you'll get an additional free night. So that's also good. So every year you get one free night. If you spend 15,000 on the card, you'll get an additional free night. Okay, and then the qualifying, you'll receive 5 qualifying night credits, so you'll get that. And then after spending, what is it, 5,000 on the card, you'll get additional two night credits, qualifying nights, and that's toward your elite status. So if you need to reach globalist status, you need to stay 60 nights. You'll get, you can kind of compensate, or not get compensate, but you can work off some of those nights by just using the card. Contactless pay technology, so it does have like and always look for this. They're putting these on a lot of the new cards now, where they'll have this little Wi-Fi signal. That's what it looks like to me. But that will allow you to do the tap to pay. So just something to know about your card. And I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, so just wanted to go over it real quickly with you guys. Great card. I like it. The only thing I don't like about the card is it's cheap. It's cheap looking. It's almost fake, like fake looking. When you actually hold it in your hand, it's like really lightweight. And if they had a metal card, that would be. And that brings me to something, video that I want to put out. I'll talk about it now, but like Hyatt, make a card like Hilton did, the Aspire card. Make a top-notch card. I think people would be really interested in getting that. Something that will give you the top-tier status, or give you like a free breakfast. You don't even, the thing with me, I don't need top-tier. Like, I don't need to be an elite. I just want free breakfast. So you give me a card, $450 annual fee, throw in a $200 bonus, like a $200 credit, and then give me some other credits here and there, maybe $100 credit for airline or something, $200 credit for hotel stays. And then give me the free breakfast. I'm good. And then give me an explorer status. You don't have to give me the globalist. You don't have to give me the top, but give me explorer status. That's a great card in my book. That, and give me all the other little perks that you have on the regular card. I'm good with that. That's right down my alley. If you guys are in here right now, please hit the like button so we can get more people in. Looks like we have about 18 people in, so if you hit the like button, then more people will see that we're doing a live stream, and then hopefully they will join. Okay, let's look at what's in the chat here. Okay, I have 15 cards. I started before I knew it, about 524. I have 2 years before I can apply for the chase cards. Okay, so that's Hip saying that he has 15 cards. He's got two years before. So you just got these last cards? And one other thing, like, if you have a Chase account, like bank account, maybe you can go down to the branch and just see if you qualify for any of the cards. So you might be able to get started a little early. Let's see. And then, like, if you have 15 cards, you want to check your credit, because you have to see when they drop off. Like, they're not all going to drop off in 2 years. They'll drop off over time. So the time that you get them, the 2-year marks from when you get them. So you might be able to drop below, unless that 15. I don't know. Yeah, just check your credits to see where it is. So if you got 5, I guess you got 5 within the last month or so. Okay. And hey, do you Marriott hotels? So Katika's asking, I guess if I like have Marriott, if I stay at Marriott hotels, I generally don't. I generally only stay at Hyatt or I'll stay at Airbnb. And I've been doing a lot of Airbnbs lately. That's kind of that's been my go-to because I like to go to Colombia a lot, and Colombia only has at the moment they only have one Hyatt hotel, and they're soon to be opening another one in Bogota. But I don't go to Bogota, so that's not really going to help me. So when they get one in Medellin, then I'll go there. They have one in Cartagena right now, and I do want to go to that property. But I probably won't be going to Cartagena this year, maybe next year. So when I do, actually next year I probably will. Setting up the trip to Carnaval again, so I'll probably go to Barranquilla for Carnaval. But prior to that, I'll probably go to Cartagena for a couple of days, and I'll stay at that property. And that's a good one too for free nights. I believe it was what how many? I can't remember how many points. Maybe it's 15,000. It might be 15,000. It's a Hyatt Regency though, and it's right on the water. It's a real nice property, brand new. Like it opened, I believe it opened last year. So it's a real nice place. Actually, Nika stayed there. I believe she stayed there. And yeah, she could tell you more about it. But it's a nice place. I mean, I haven't been in the rooms, but it's attached to a mall. That's how nice it is. It's like high rise, right on the beach, right on the water, and it's attached to a big mall. And so you have the food court. You can go there, get food and all that. Of course, they have their own restaurants and stuff at the Hyatt Regency, so you can eat there. And then you just walk out, and you're right at the beach. So it's a nice place. Plus, you're in what they call the Boca Grande area of Cartagena, which is more. It's like the Miami feel, where you have the high rise buildings right on the water. That setup, so it's nice. Okay. Oh, TC, do you think I should wait? Okay, we talked about that one. So I missed a couple questions. That's why I backed up here. I have to have monthly travel for click monthly budget. Okay, Mr. Alexander, the Discover It Miles card. I don't really like Discover cards. I think they're good starter cards. So if your credit's not so good, you get a Discover card to start off with. But as far as travel, I don't talk about those cards much, and I don't really like. I have a Discover card right now. That was the card that I got when I was a kid. When I was in college, that's the card that I got, and I still have it. I don't. It's not a Discover It. I don't know what it is. It's just like they didn't have Discover It back then. But yeah, I don't really. I know that card had the Discovery card has some pretty good benefits and stuff, but when it comes down to it, there are only really three major card companies that I'll deal with. And I mean, I guess there's four, but I don't deal with Capital One. So Capital One would be one. Then you have Chase, and then you have American Express, and then you have the Citi cards, and those are the kind of like the four. But I've dealt with Citi before. I have a Citi card now, and I had the Citi Premier card. I've dealt with Chase, and I will be getting some Amex cards. But I like to get cards that have travel partners set up. So that's what I really go for, because I want to be able to transfer those points. I want to have some flexibility with my points. So I don't want to just get points and then have them for travel, but I don't have anywhere to transfer them to, any partners to work with. Okay, Jeremy saying that Discover Card's a great card to have. TC, it's time to promote the Facebook group. Yes, I forgot to promote. Okay, so we also have a Facebook group, and it's a great place for you to go to find out what's going on in the travel world. Right? We talk about travel credit cards. We talk about travel in general. We post pictures of our travels. So just it's a great place to just get more information. And it's a 24-hour, 7-day a week deal, right? So you're always going to see new content. Whereas when I do live streams, I do them on Saturday or I do them on Monday, and we can talk back and forth at this point, but that's it. You don't get anything further. Plus, anytime I go live, except for today because I forgot to post. But anytime that I go live, I will. I'll put out a. I'll put out a post on the Facebook group, just to let you know that I'm live. Or a lot of times, people like some of the administrators that I have, they'll just put out a post. Hey, he's live right now, so you guys know that I'm live. So it's a great place to go, and I'll put a link right now once I pull it up here. But there's a lot of information on here, and I am no expert when it comes to travel credit cards. But there are a lot of people on here that they might have a card that you're looking for, and they might be able to give you some information about that card, and I can give you information as well. Like cards that I use, I'll talk about them all the time. Like if it's a card that I already have and I use, I'll tell you, yeah, I like this card, just like the Hyatt card. I like that card. Here's the reason why, and I'll lay it out, as well as like staying at Hyatt properties. Some people have never stayed at Hyatt property. I'll tell you the good things about them, or some of the not so good things. One of the not so good things is Hyatt is not everywhere, and that's one of the biggest drawbacks of Hyatt is they don't have a large footprint. So if it's a major city, they're going to be there. But if it's a small city, or like especially in other countries, like I was just telling you, in all of Colombia, you have one Hyatt property right now. So that's not and that one property is in the third. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I could say probably the third most popular destination. Like when you have the top 3 destinations, Cartagena is probably the third on that list. It's arguably so. Bogota's going to be the first, only because, or the main reason for Bogota. I personally don't like Bogota, but Bogota is the capital city. So for airfare, it's the cheapest airfares to go to Bogota because of that. Because there are a lot of flights coming in and out of Bogota, but and most people will go there. It's kind of one of those deals like. If you're coming to the U.S. and you wanted to get that full U.S. experience, you're probably going to go to Washington, D.C., because that's where all the government buildings are and everything. So Bogota is the same way. That's where the government buildings are, the Supreme Court, all that stuff is there in Bogota. So you're going to want to at least go there just to kind of see that. But let's see. Let me get back here. All right. I think I have it here. Let me just post this link real quick. Okay, so that's to the Facebook group there. But when it comes to the other cities, I would say Medellin is more Medellin and Cartagena are very popular cities. So you can say one is more popular. I would say I went to Cartagena first, but I would say Medellin's probably a little more popular for travelers than Cartagena. They're very close though. Okay, so there we go. So join the group. Join the Facebook group, and if you do jump in, then someone will accept you probably right away. And if not, then when I get off here, I'll accept you in. But we have a lot of good information in the group. And one of the great things about groups is there's always someone traveling, and so you can live vicariously through them because they'll put all their stuff, their videos and stuff like that out there. And I'll be traveling in a month, and I'll be putting out my little videos and stuff on there, so you guys can see what Hawaii is like if you've never been to Hawaii. And by the way, Hawaii is a very, very nice spot to go to travel to. So if you don't have a passport yet and you want to travel somewhere, that's Hawaii is different than anywhere I've traveled in the U.S. How can I say that? No, it's not anywhere. Well, yeah, as far as states go, yes. So we won't count Puerto Rico because it's a territory. I've been to Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is a whole different experience than something that you would find in the U.S. As well as Hawaii is a different experience. It's just depending on where you go. If you go to some of the smaller islands like Kauai, which I'll be spending a lot of time in Kauai, it's just relaxing. It's a whole different vibe, and it's a great place to go and spend time. Okay, enough of that. Let's go back on here. The regular Discover. Okay, we looked at that. Lots of cards, travel cards are offering global entry credit. Okay, so James is saying that lots. Oh, you just move here. Lots of cards, travel credit cards are offering global entry credit. It will be nice to see if some of the cards offer clear. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to offer clear though. Clear is a security clearance provider at many airports. Yeah, they're getting larger and larger. So clear will allow you, and this is clear is just for the U.S. So it's like a TSA pre-check, but on steroids, I guess. You can go through the lines even faster, like it's your own separate check-in process. So I don't know though if they're gonna. We'll have to see what Clear does and how popular Clear really gets. But what I like about the global entry, and I do like that a lot of the credit cards now are offering this global entry credit, and it's once every 5 years, so that you get global entry. But we'll have to see. The venture card is probably at this point the venture card is the best card to get that credit for global entry because you're actually getting, first off, you get the venture card. $95 annual fee is waived for the first year. So in essence, you're getting it for a year. You're getting it a year for free. And you can get, if you don't have global entry, you can get that global entry right there. So you get that $100 credit right off the bat. So basically, they're paying, if you think of it this way, they're paying you $100 to get that venture card. And then you get the global entry, and you'll have that global entry for 5 years. And then at the end of that year with the venture card, if you don't want to keep it, then you can downgrade the card to something else, and you have your global entry. So just something to think about. But yeah, that's probably the best benefit. Now, some of the best benefit for a $95 annual fee card. Now, a lot of the other cards are getting, like the top tier cards they'll have like the global entry, which is great. Okay. Tiger, Jeremy Chains. Yes, I do. Discover card. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so Vic's saying that I believe he's talking about the height. The height minimum spend is larger than the other hotel cards, and yet, well, yes and no. So for the 25,000, you're spending $3,000, right? But you still have another another 3 months to spend another 3,000. So in essence, yeah, the minimum spend is higher, but you're doing it in a longer period of time. So that's the way that I kind of look at that. But the benefits of the card are pretty good. And like I said, they're doing this tiered thing, and I don't think they're going to be the only ones. I think we're going to we're going to start seeing this in a lot of other cards, where they're going to raise that. They're going to do that tiered thing because they want people to use a card for a longer period of time, and this is what helps fight off churners because now, in order for them to maximize, they're going to have to spend. They're going to have to hit a minimum spend in segments as opposed to just doing it all up front and never using the card again. And one thing too, and I've said this before, make better cards. If you want people to use your card, because the whole gripe is that people aren't using the cards, they're just getting the card, hitting the bonus, and they're not using the card anymore. Well, if you make good cards, if you focus, if that's your goal, if that's if the goal is to get people to use the card, people will use the card if it's a good card to use. If I'm not earning a lot on the card, if I have the American Airlines Advantage card and I'm getting 2 points for every dollar spent on American Airline purchases, why am I going to use that card if I have a card that gives me better? So if I have a Chase Sapphire Reserve or a lot of these other cards that will give me more earn with that card, why am I going to use the Citi American Advantage card? Well, there's no reason for me to use that card. I'm not earning a lot with that card. So yeah, sure, I'll get the card. I'll hit the 50,000 points. I might keep the card. I'll keep the card because I get the free bag and the priority boarding. But if you make a good card, a solid card with better earn possibility, then sure. When I'm flying out on American Airlines, I'm gonna use that card. If I go to a gas station, I'm getting 3 points for every dollar spent. Even if I'm getting two, which I think they give you two on that card, I'll use that card. But you have to give me more reasons to pull the card out. Because right now, yeah, I have that card. I don't use it. I don't use it at all. I don't fly at American Airlines anymore, so there's no reason. I wouldn't even use it for that anyway, because like I said, you get 2 points for every dollar spent. Gas stations, I mean, that's the only thing that I would use it for is for gas, but I can still get that with some other cards. So yeah, make better cards and you're not gonna have that issue. Okay. Jason, how you doing, buddy? Have you picked up the DJI Action camera yet? And if so, have you formed an opinion yet? Let me answer that question. Hold on one second. Oh, all right. I almost took my mic out. Okay, hopefully you guys can still hear me. Yeah, I picked it up, but as you can see, I haven't opened it yet. I guess you couldn't see it over there. All right, here we go. Yeah. So yeah, I did pick it up. I actually got it on Wednesday, but I have not opened it up yet. Uh, Part of being a YouTuber and wanting to do like an unboxing and all that stuff is I needed to have some time to do that. And I worked during the week, so got it on Wednesday, but I didn't have any time to open it up. So I will open it up and I'll do a review of it. And I'll let you guys know what I think. So the plan is for me to open it up tonight, kind of do like an unboxing thing, and then take it out tomorrow. And I'll be comparing it. I have the Osmo Pocket as well, so I'll be comparing it to the Osmo Pocket. And my main thing is when I talk about camera gear on here on this channel, I'm talking about camera gear for travel. So that's my main focus here. So when it comes to camera gear when you travel, there's certain things that you need to know about. And the first thing when it comes to travel is like I want something small. I want something that I can put in my pocket. Bottom line, I don't want to have to worry about carrying a bag with me when I travel, or I shouldn't say that. When I'm in a destination. So when I travel, I bring all my camera gear. I bring a lot. So I have the Sony A7R III. I have this Panasonic G7 that I use for video, and I'll bring that camera. That camera. I'll bring the lenses that I have for my Sony camera. As well as I bring the Osmo Pocket now, and then I'll be bringing this Osmo Action. So I bring all of my camera gear when I travel, but when I go out for the night, usually I never bring the Sony A7R III when I'm going out for the night. It's just too much. It's too big. If I'm going out to dinner and then we might go to a club or something like that, I don't want to have to carry a bag everywhere I go. So I want to have something that I can put in my pocket, but something that will shoot video that's good quality video. And steady video. The main thing is I want something steady. So this has Rocksteady, their new little technology. It looks good. It looks good on camera. We'll have to, or like on the videos that I've seen, it looks good. But we'll have to see how it really is. I'm hoping for the best. I know the Osmo Pocket that I have right now. I absolutely love that camera. I took it out with me for when I went to Carnaval a couple of months ago, and it was excellent. Like I got some really good footage with that camera, and I learned some things too, just using it. But yeah, it's yeah. I'm happy with the Osmo Pocket, so hopefully I'll be happy with this as well. And this will just allow me. And you're probably asking yourself, well, you have the Osmo Pocket. It's small. You can put it in your pocket. Why do you need to get this as well? One, I just like camera gear. So if you release something, I probably want to pick it up anyway, just because I like it. But the other thing is this will allow me to do some other things. So I can put it on One thing I like, and I have I have this. This is my go-to action camera. This is a Sony FDR X3000, and this is an amazing little camera. And this is perfect because I can sit this on the top of the hood of a taxi. Not always recommended, but I take my chances. Okay, so if I'm in Colombia, it's not a good idea to put stuff on top of the vehicles. Well, first off, I'll get their permission. So not this last time, but the time before that, we had a driver that took us the 5 days that we were there. Every day he was taking us to different spots. So I just asked him, hey, can I mount this on the top of the vehicle? And basically, I have a magnet. This magnet, it's like this big. It's like it's a magnet on the inside and it's rubberized on the outside so it won't scratch your paint or anything like that. And it has a little 1/4-20 tripod mount on the top. And you just screw this on there and then you just slap it to the hood. Now, when you put it on the hood, that magnet it takes like 100 pounds of pressure or something like that. It's literally like to take it off. For me, you have to like take two hands to pull this thing off. That's how hard it's stuck. So it's not going to fall off. Even if someone were to grab it and try to take it off, it's going to take some pressure. If they're on a motorcycle, they probably won't be able to pull it off because they're going to be pulling it while the vehicle's moving, and it's going to take a lot of pressure in order for them to get it off. That's if we're moving. Now, if we're stopped, then they might be able to just zoom by and just grab it and go. So it's not advised to have stuff on your hood, but I take my chances. And if it's stuff like action cameras like this, it's $300. Yeah, I don't want to lose $300, but if I did, it's not the end of the world. So I do it from time to time. But when I was in Thailand, I had it. In Thailand, the good thing about Thailand is they have a lot of the taxis, and they have instead of Uber, they have Grab out there in Thailand. And Grab, most of those Grab vehicles, it's a van. So, and it's a tall van. So if you put it on the hood there, people, even if you're standing there, you have to kind of jump up to grab something because it's that high off the ground. So yeah, that was one thing. So like I put this thing on the hood from Phuket, Thailand. We drove all the way to Krabi, which is about an hour and 45 minutes away. And what I did is I have a power bank. So just grab a power bank, like one of these little things, 10 milliamp. Oh, dropping everything. So a 10 milliamp power bank with the cord, attach it to the back of the camera here, have this sitting on the magnet on top of the hood, and you have a 256 gig micro SD card, and it will last that whole way. I could shoot for like 4 hours if I want. And that's what I did. So it just rode. It didn't take 4 hours. It took an hour and 45 minutes, but I was able to record the whole thing. So kind of boring stuff, I know, but you never know what can happen. Like you catch some weird things when you just have your camera going. When I was in Colombia, this last trip that I went to in Colombia, I know I'm going off on a tangent, but it comes to a point. It comes to a reason, right? You shouldn't have asked me about this. Whoever did, it's your fault. But there was a motorcycle accident that happened right in front of us. And I had my camera on, but it wasn't facing the direction where the accident happened. But it was crazy. Like we're driving, and people drive really crazy in Colombia. Very, very aggressive. And this girl was on a scooter, and she hit another guy that was on a motorcycle. And I don't know, I guess she was paying attention to the vehicles, and she wasn't looking at this motorcycle. And basically, we're in this lane, we're right here. She's in this lane here, and she was getting over, and the road split this way. So she was trying to get over, and I guess she was focused on me, or not me, but focused on us. And so what she did is she got over, and maybe she didn't see that there was a motorcycle coming on the other side, and she just got over and just, boom, hit him like this, and then she went down this way, and he was able to keep the motorcycle up. But it happened right in front of us. And it was one of those deals where it's like you want to help, but you can't because we couldn't because the road split. So she went down, he went this way, and he stayed up on his motorcycle, and then we had already passed them, and you can't stop at that point because there's cars all behind you, and so we could have pulled over and then run back, but yeah, it was one. But by the time we got back, people would have been there already because you couldn't just pull over, and so it was one of those deals. Because me, like, I don't know, like I was like, yeah, let's stop, like, and he kind of paused a little bit, but then he was like, he couldn't stop and turn around, and actually he couldn't turn around. He would have to pull over to the side, and then we'd have to go back. So anyway, all right, so that's enough of that. But yes, I will be doing an unboxing. I will be putting video out. I'll be putting a video out on this channel, and then I have another channel already that I'm going to start putting more content that's just related to photography, video work, and mainly focused on. Let's see. The focus is going to be more on like YouTube, making YouTube videos. So what do you need? Like what kind of camera gear do you need to make YouTube videos? How to make setups, or not setups, but like a set like we have behind us here. Like how is that possible? How do you make that? Just different things like that. Kind of because I have a photography background, it's easier for me to understand how light works and how to like blur out. Like you see the background's a little blurry, how to blur the background out. Different things like that. So I'm just going to start sharing that. I'm going to have it on my other channel, and my other channels, I don't have any subscribers to my other channel. It's just, I think it's just David Clark at this point. So I'm going to start launching that, and that I'll put all the video stuff when it comes to like making YouTube videos. I'll put all that on there because I like to talk a little bit about camera stuff, but not everybody's interested in they want to travel, and they're not really interested in the camera stuff, and a lot of it shows in the views. Like the views really drop off when I start talking about just camera stuff. So we'll talk about a little bit, but then if you want like some full in-depth stuff, you can go to the new channel. Now, when I launch a new channel, I will let you guys know, so you guys will know. It'll probably be soon because I'm going to have videos about this on there. But I will let you guys know, so you guys can jump over there and subscribe to that channel so we can get that channel going. So we'll do that. I'm just learning that you can't just put everything on your channel, like one channel. If you put everything on there, people just kind of lose interest. Okay. If you guys are in here right now, please hit the like button just so we can get more people in, and we'll answer some more questions. You guys have any other questions, please post it in the chat, please. Let's see. Let's see, Altered Illusions. My problem with Amex is they can't earn many points internationally, only domestic. And that's true. And that's a concern of a lot of people when it comes to Amex. You can't use them at all everywhere out of the country. And then not only can you not use them everywhere, but in case of like the Amex Gold, it's U.S. restaurants, U.S. Grocery stores, so you're not going to be able to maximize your points when you're in other countries. But for the U.S., it's a great card for earn, a really great card. And I do like the fact that the way I look at it is most of the points that I earn are going to be in the U.S. And then I'll travel other places. So if I had that Amex Gold, I'm gonna keep the Chase Sapphire Reserve. So if I have the Amex Gold, when I'm in the U.S., grocery stores, I'm using that card. Restaurants, I'm using that card. And then I'll earn those points, and then I can use those points for my travel, so for getting to these different destinations. And then when I'm in these different destinations, then I'll use the Chase Sapphire Reserve or use another card that will give me the maximum earn possibility. Okay. I've been to Hawaii a bunch because my sister lives there. Great place. Yeah, that's Lionel saying that. Yeah, I really like Hawaii. It's a real nice place just to relax. Well, I shouldn't say that. If you go to the right islands, if you go to Kauai, it's a nice place to relax and just do nothing. And then they still have everything that you'll have at all the other islands where you can go to luau and stuff like that. That's something you have to do if you go to Hawaii. If you've never been to Hawaii, if you go to Hawaii, you need to go to a luau. Some luau's are better than others. There's this family luau that we go to in Kauai every time that we go. We go every other year. My parents have a timeshare out there, so every other year we'll go out there. And Smith's Luau, Just go to Smith's. I think it's just Smith's Luau, and they have a nice luau. It's not like a high end luau. It's a family owned business, but it's a good luau, and the food there is excellent. It's the best food I've ever had as far as luau's go in Hawaii. And I've been to Maui, I've been to Honolulu, and I've been to Kauai, and that's by far the best. We went to, I believe it was a Hyatt in Maui, and we went to their luau. Nice hotel, everything like that. The food was not good. It just wasn't good. The show was okay. Actually, the Smith show I thought was better. But so if you're ever in Kauai, I think there's two major luau's that they put on. We've been to both of those, and the Smiths one, by far the Smiths one's better, I think. And they also have like a boat tour too, where they'll take you out on a boat, on some river. They'll take you around, and it's interesting, a little boat ride. Okay. All right. Any other questions, guys? Please post them and put it in the chat now. And if you're in here, hit the like button. Also, if you're new here, please subscribe to the channel. And we talk about travel credit cards all the time. We talk about travel, affordable travel. I'll tell you about some different destinations that I personally been to, and the cost of things, just to kind of prepare you. If you have a family, some of these destinations are really family oriented. You might not think so, but they are, and they have a lot of things that will cater to family. Colombia has a lot of places that cater to families. If you go to Cartagena, you have a lot of history in Cartagena, but then you also can. It's a coastal city, so you can get on a boat and you can go to some of these different islands. And you go to these islands, and some of these islands are amazing. Nice, clear, like the clear blue water and all that, and just a nice place to relax. The only problem, some of them do have hotels, but the only problem is it's like a day trip, and that's what I don't like. So I don't like to go to a place and then I can only be there for the day, and then jump back on the boat at 3 o'clock and then go. And yeah, I don't like doing all that. I like to be able to go and stay for a few days. Some of them do have hotels. The last place that we went, the last island that we went to in off the coast of Cartagena, they were building a hotel. They hadn't finished it yet. So it'd be interesting to go back now and just, that's what I want to do. I want to be able to relax a couple of days and not have to, do that boat ride. Because the boat ride was like an hour just to get there. So you had to do an hour back. And then on the way back, we caught rain. And so that was another whole ordeal. So we're on a boat in the rain, and I have all my camera gear, and I'm thinking, oh my God, this is not going to end well. But luckily, it was all right. Okay, you'll do most of your spending in the U.S., not internationally. Why is it a big deal not to be able to use Amex card in different countries? Are you spending thousands of dollars eating out? So that's Eduardo saying that. Good points. First off, yeah, good points. I just think that when it comes down to, if you're looking at different ecosystems, let's say you don't want to have a Chase ecosystem, you want to just have an Amex ecosystem, Amex Platinum, Amex Gold, and maybe the blue card or another card, everyday card, whatever you want to get with Amex. The only problem with not being able to use it in some areas in other countries is if that's your ecosystem, you don't have another card to bounce off, then you could be stuck in a situation where you have to use cash or your debit card because you don't have another card. So that's what I think is kind of a drawback. I do agree with you, though. Most of your spend is going to be within the U.S. So when it comes to like getting the maximum earn on that card, but it's always nice to have something that's universal, that I know if I can use a credit card there, I can use this card. Like if it's a Visa card, I know if I can use a credit card, they're going to take Visa. No questions asked. But they might not take Amex. So that's just kind of, I think that's kind of the issue that some people have with the card. And then I still want to earn, like, yes, I will get most of my 4 times points at grocery stores and at restaurants with the gold in the U.S. I want to be able to earn that somewhere else too. So it does kind of degrade the card a little bit because I might not spend thousands of dollars at restaurants in another country, but I am going to spend some money at restaurants in another country. So is that, if you look at comparing that card to another card that gets you, let's say you have a card that gets you the Chase Sapphire Reserve, and I know they're on different levels as far as the cards go, but let's just bear with me for a minute so just understand. So 3 points for every dollar spent at restaurants with Chase Sapphire Reserve, 4 points for every dollar spent at restaurants, U.S. restaurants with the Amex Gold. Well, because I can use this card, the Chase card, everywhere, and I can't use this card everywhere, then that 4 times points really isn't 4 times points if you compare the two, if that makes sense. So that's kind of, I think, what people are talking about. Yeah, you're not going to spend that much in other countries. And if you work it right, and if you do have a Visa Chase card or Citi card or whatever, but it's a Visa or MasterCard, then you can still use that card when you go into other countries, and then just use the Amex cards when you're in the U.S. That's what I plan to do. When I get Amex cards, that's going to be my routine. But if you just have that ecosystem, the Amex ecosystem, you might fall short in some categories where you can earn more points. Okay, Nate, what do you think of the Hyatt all-inclusive resorts? I haven't stayed at any of the all-inclusive resorts yet. If you'll get the card, I'll probably save up for one of those. Any recommendations? Yeah, I haven't. I can't give you any recommendations. I haven't used one of those yet. I'm not really big on all-inclusives. I stayed in one in where was that? Aruba. Went to Aruba a couple of years ago, or about a year and a half ago. Or actually, was it? No, it was last year. Last year we went to Aruba, and my buddy got one of the all-inclusive places, and so I came in, and I had to pay. I still had to pay. I don't know how much it was. I didn't stay there the full time that he stayed there, but I think I only stayed there 3 days. So I went in and stayed 3 days. I had to pay, God, I want to say it was like $400, $400 to stay there. And the funny thing is, right next door was a Hyatt property. So I stayed there 3 nights, and then I moved over to Hyatt and stayed at the Hyatt for another 3 nights. And so he came over to the Hyatt with me. I'm not really that big of a fan. I think, I mean, it's a good setup. You get the free, the food is included and all that, so that's good. And even the drinks, I think to a certain limit, the drinks were included as well. So it was decent, but it just reminds me of a cruise. I don't know, like same thing when you go on a cruise, you get the food and everything is all inclusive, and I don't know. Yeah, I'm just not really a big fan. Maybe I need to stay at more properties, and then I'll be more inclined to want to do that. But I generally like to I don't like to eat at the hotel unless I have to. So unless it's or I should say breakfast, I like to eat at the hotel. But I like to spend my time outside of the hotel eating, restaurants and stuff that are outside of the hotel. So breakfast is good to have. That's perfect. But a lot of these all-inclusives, you kind of get stuck or tied, or you feel like obligated to eat at the restaurants there and not really branch out and explore and go eat some of the local food and stuff like that. So that's just kind of my feeling on that. But breakfast is always, I always like to eat breakfast at the hotel. Okay. But yeah, they do have those all-inclusives. I just don't know. I can't give you any information on it. I don't have any recommendations to give when it comes to that. Sorry about that. James, is Google Flights the best website to find great fares? In your opinion, which site to use? I use Google Flights. Okay. Now, that's just to see prices for fares. Now, if I'm using points, I go on Award Hacker. Maine. Where is Maine? I haven't seen Maine in a while. Maine turned me on to this awardhacker.com. If you go on there, it'll show you the point breakdown. So if you want to go travel to someplace using points, go on awardhacker.com, type in your information, and then it will show you. Now that you can't put the dates on there, so it's just going to kind of show you the lowest price that's offered, but then you'll have to do some more legwork to find out. So you can go to that website. So whatever airline it is, go to that airline, punch in the numbers, and see what they show you for the time period that you want to fly out. But Google Flights is good just to get on and see if you're planning on paying for a ticket, or even if you're not planning on paying for a ticket, but you just want to see the prices. It's a good place to go, because there are a lot of situations where my plan is to use points, and this is the best example I can give is what's going to be coming up in August. So I'm going to Colombia in August. So I looked up the information for Colombia for using points, and crazy. And actually, there's two things that I learned with this. The travel portal was less points than actually transferring. This is the first time that I've seen this, and it does happen from time to time, where flying from Los Angeles, and this is not all because I looked from Los Angeles, I looked from New York. One of my buddies is trying to book a trip to New York. Actually, Paisa Gringos, he's trying to book a trip from New York. He wanted to use points, so I checked that fare. It's not a good deal. It's like 50,000 points or 45,000 points or something like that to book it through the portal, and it's 50,000 points one way. This is a round trip on the portal, so it actually is a better deal. But 50,000 points round trip on the portal from New York to Colombia to Medellin, and then for the transferring the points, it's 50,000 points one way, so it's 100,000 points round trip. Which is just absolutely ridiculous. But it's on United, and United, they always, we have no blackout dates, but they just hike those prices up. So they just make it not affordable. So that's what they did in this case. But from Los Angeles, for whatever reason, from Los Angeles to Medellin, the fare was, I believe it was, the lowest that I got it to was like 27,000 points round trip. And that was on Aeromexico, and that was, that's excellent. Like, first off, it was before, when I was looking at United, it would have been, this is on the travel portal, it was 27,000 points. But the last time that I flew out to Colombia, it was 20,000 economy. That was the cheapest fare, and that's if you transfer your points to United. So a much better deal on the travel portal. So one valuable thing that I learned. It's not a guarantee that it'll be less if you transfer your points, but you want to check both just to see, because you might be surprised. You might pull it up and say, "Oh wow, it's cheaper. Aeromexico is cheaper than flying." Now that's for economy. Now if you want to fly business class, it's in most situations it's going to be cheaper to transfer your points over to one of the travel portals. I have not seen that less like that. That is always more if I want to try fly business class or first class. But check both the portal and the transfer and the points. Okay. But yeah, overall, Google Flights is what I use to find the fares. And I actually got sidetracked, but yeah, so I'm flying to Colombia in August. I checked it out, 50,000 points. To fly from Los Angeles. This is one way from Los Angeles to Colombia. Economy, 50,000, which is absolutely ridiculous. And so in that case, I'm either going through the travel portal, which I might still end up doing, because if it's like 30,000 points round trip, then I might as well do that. Or if I want, I can just book it. And it's like $500 to book it online. So yeah, that's. But I go to Google Flights to find that information out as far as how much cash it's going to cost. Rolo, why does Chase have the United Club card? $450, and you get the 2 times United flights and only United Club access. I don't know. You're asking me a question. I don't know why they would. I don't know. Yeah, these airline cards. A lot the legacy carriers, they don't give you real good value, like earn possibility with these cards. They give you these cards and it's like, yeah, $450. Who's gonna get that card? Who would want to get that card? Yeah, yeah. The earn possibility is horrible on the card. $450. Are you gonna get that every year? Yeah, it's gonna be tough. And you get the United Club access, which. Okay, it's not. Yeah, just having the United Explorer, I believe. Yeah, it's a United Explorer. You get two passes. which can come in handy. Priority pass, I use that all the time, but there might be certain situations like I still need to check to see if there's a United. When I'm flying home from Hawaii, since I booked it with points, I'm going to be flying. I fly to another island, the Big Island. I think I'm flying somewhere. I don't know if it's the Big Island or not, but I'm flying from Kauai to another island. I'll be in that island for, I think it's a long layover. I think it's like 4 hours. Yeah, I think it's about a 4 hour layover, and then I fly home. So that 4 hour layover, I'm looking for a lounge. They don't have priority pass. I already checked. So I'm hoping they have a United Club lounge there, and then I'll just choose one of the passes. So it's good to kind of, if you're in a situation where they don't have priority pass available, then you can do the United Club. So that's what I'll do there, hopefully, if I can. Okay. I don't think you can use Amex with Costco and Costco Travel. Been a little, maybe once I get working on getting the Chase cards, I want to consider Amex if the offer's good. Yeah. So Nate is talking about using. He doesn't think you can use Amex for Costco Travel. Yeah. Wait. Amex with Costco and Costco Travel. Yeah, and I don't book Costco Travel. That's my parents. That's where they like the travel agents. I don't do the travel agents. I don't do that. So that wouldn't bother me there as far as Amex is concerned. But Amex is a good ecosystem. They have a good ecosystem. I don't have any problems with it. I don't have a problem with the Amex Gold. I would love to get that card, and I will get it, but I'll get it with the Amex Platinum to use together with it, because I think that's a good combination. But when you're traveling outside the country, yeah, you might have some issues with that. So I just won't use it. I just won't use them there. I'll just use the Chase cards. Plus, you get some better insurance with the Chase cards as well. And Eduardo's asking, is it economy? Yes, it's economy. I'll use my points for lodging since I feel that I get more value at the hotels than the flights. You can get cheap flights if you do the research. Buy the credits. Yeah, and so Eduardo said he uses most of his points for hotel stays. I actually do the opposite, and that's only because yes, you can get cheap flights, but I like more business class, first class if I can. So I like to save my points for that, and then I don't mind staying in an Airbnb to save money. I don't have any issues with that, or staying at a Hyatt place in other countries, which usually a Hyatt place in other countries is like category 1, category 2. So that's kind of been my routine, and I've been able to do well with that. I just, my whole thing when it comes to flights, if they're long flights, I want to be comfortable in the long flight. That means more to me than every hotel room, every Airbnb. You're gonna have a bed, and I can I can sleep in pretty much any bed. Like it's I don't need it to be really comfortable. Just give me a bed and I'm usually okay. Give me a hot shower and I'm fine. So I'm not very picky when it comes to hotels, and it's just me too. So if I'm not, I'm not traveling with a girlfriend, it's not. I don't need to be pampered. I really don't. Not at a hotel. But I would agree with you, Eduardo, in this sense. You're going to spend more time. Like your flight is 10 hours. And then once that 10 hours is over, it's over. You're going to be spending, a lot more time at a hotel. So it makes sense to save your points up and use them for hotel stays. But the only thing is you can burn a lot of points on hotel stays, because let's say you want to stay at a nice hotel. Let's say you want to stay at a nice Hyatt hotel. It's going to be like 15,000 to 25,000 points per night. So you can, in a few days, 4 days, that's 60,000 points. That's an airplane ticket right there. So, or a round trip ticket somewhere for free. And it's probably like, well, if it's a business class or first class seat, it's definitely gonna be more expensive for that flight than it is gonna be for the hotel stay. And it depends on what country you're staying in and all that, obviously. But You can really, for me, flying the way that I like to fly, it costs more money to fly than it does to stay in a hotel. Because I'm telling you, some of these Airbnbs that I stay in, especially when I'm in Colombia, $20 a night, $29 a night. That's for the apartment, the whole apartment. And so, yeah, I can do it for a lot less. I mean, when you're looking at the last Airbnb, I was in Medellin, and it was 5 nights that I stayed in Medellin, and it was $29 a night, and my bill came to it was about $200, a little over $200 for 5 nights, and that's it, right? You can't get airfare for that. You can't get economy airfare for that. I can't fly to Colombia from Los Angeles for $290. Maybe from Florida, I can get a cheap ticket, but you can't do that with. And granted, yeah, it's not a hotel; it's an Airbnb, but it was a nice Airbnb. Like, and I have it on my videos. Just check. I think it's Cheap Hotels or something like that. I show the room that I stayed in. It was nice. I mean, Airbnbs, for me, Airbnbs are nicer than hotels. Like, if you do it right and you do the research and you find the good super hosts, they're better. I get a better overall experience with Airbnb than I do with the hotel, and there are a few different reasons. The main reason, I have everything there. I have my washer dryer, I have a kitchen, I have a refrigerator, which is not always guaranteed. In some of these hotels, they don't have refrigerators, and I have an area where I can just sit down and relax. A lot of them now, like the Superhost, they really set it up. They give you Netflix, so you have the account that's open, so you can watch movies and do all that. And you have your bedroom that's separate, and it's just an overall good setup. The only downfall is the drawback is you don't have like maid service every day. That's the only real drawback. So you have to kind of pick up after yourself. I can do that. I'm fine. If I'm staying there 5 days, I can do that. Even if it's 10 days, I can do that. So it's not a deal breaker when it comes to not having that maid service every night, or every day. And then the washer dryer is like the biggest selling point when it comes to Airbnbs, because now I don't have to bring as many clothes, and I can just wash them. And you never know what you're gonna get into when you travel. So you don't know, like, you might want to go swimming. Like in Medellin, it's different because you can still go swimming, but there's no like beach or anything like that. But let's say you're in a coastal city, you might want to go swimming every day, every other day. You can wash your clothes every day if you want to do that. You might want to go out and get dirty, get on one of those forerunners and ride out, and you get all dirty, or get on a bike and ride out, get all dirty. So you have opportunities to just do things, get your clothes dirty, come home, wash your clothes, and then you're ready for the next day. So I can't say enough good things about Airbnbs. So I'm just gonna end it with that. Or I'm gonna stop talking about that. TEC, Jess is asking if you redeem a flight through the Chase portal or points, do you still get the trip protection or insurance? You should, because you're gonna. Oh, actually, you know what? If you're transferring, you do. If you use your card, so you're gonna use your Chase card to pay the taxes and fees. I personally have not booked through the portal yet. Like, I just happen to see that because I usually don't even look through the portal, because I've always been taught, like, the number one rule, like, you're always taught, always go through the travel partners, because you get better value. And when I'm booking a business class, first class, I don't even look at the portal, because I already know, I'm not going to be able to get this kind of a deal on there. So that's usually the way I go about it. But if you're using your credit card, now that is actually a good question. That's something that I'll look into, because I am not 100% when it comes to booking through the portal. If you're just using points and you're not paying any taxes and fees or anything like that, do you still get that insurance? The way I'm thinking about it is you should, because you're using their portal to book it. But I can't tell you 100%. Yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah, that's something, because The one thing is when you're on the portal, you go through, and I'm using a specific card. So like I have, I guess you can look at it like if I look at my portal, I have a portal for my Chase Sapphire Preferred, my Chase Sapphire Reserve, my Chase Ink Business Plus. So I have like these 3 different portals, and then I have the other cashback cards that aren't going to allow me some of the travel portal because they're cashback cards. So I have to transfer my points up to one of the other cards. But I'm not sure how that works. I guess it's an easy phone call. Just, hey, do I still get the trip insurance and stuff if I use the portal? Yeah, that'd be good to know. Actually, if I do book my flight through the travel portal, that's the one question I'm going to ask, because that's huge. Like I want to know if I'm going to be able to get my baggage, like the insurance on if they lose my bags, am I going to be reimbursed and all that? And so yeah, that's a good question, definitely. Information we get from TEC is worth much more on the best sign up. Thank you, Eduardo. I appreciate that. Yeah, so you guys have any other questions or anything like that? We'll stay on here for a couple minutes. If you don't, then we're going to go ahead and end it. We've been on for almost 3 hours. But I enjoy it. I enjoy just being on here talking to you guys. If you guys are new here, please subscribe to the channel. And if you guys are in here right now, please hit the like button. And the Facebook group, definitely join our Facebook group. Let me post another link for the Facebook group. I can't tell you how beneficial it is for you guys to be on like a group when it comes to travel. I don't care if it's Facebook. I don't care if it's this Facebook group or if it's another Facebook group or something, because it really, for me, for one, it motivates me to want to travel more. It does, because you're seeing all these people going to all these different destinations. You're thinking, wow, I want to go there. I want to go there. And it really kind of focuses you. So you start thinking, okay, I want to go here. How can I make this happen? And you have people that are on the ground in these different areas, these different places, and they're able to give you instant feedback. You can ask them, hey, what's the best restaurant to go to? And they're like, hey, you know what? I just went to this restaurant yesterday. It was an amazing place. You should try it out. Where's the best place to stay? If I'm going to stay in an Airbnb, and this is one of the good things about Airbnb, or one of the toughest parts about Airbnb, you can stay in an Airbnb, but you don't really know the area, right? So if you have people on the ground or people who stayed in the Airbnbs before, they can give you really good information. Now that we have Google Maps, you can kind of get in there and you can see the area. I always do that too. I'll go to Street View and I'll look to see what's in the area. But what I like is restaurants in the area. I like to have entertainment that's in that area within walking distance. I like to have this within walking distance of where I'm staying, because I don't want to always have to jump in a cab in order to go to different places. So that's very important to me. But those are good things that you can find out about in a group. And when people are out there, so let's say, yeah, I'm going to Hawaii in a month. So if someone's interested in going to Kauai, or they have plans to go to Kauai already, I'm there. You can ask me questions about, hey, so have you tried this place? Have you gone here? Have you gone there? And if I'm there, I might even go there and show you pictures and let you know how it is and all that good stuff. So it's just, you can get a lot of information when you join groups, travel groups, and definitely they motivate you. Like you get on there and you're just like, wow, okay, I want to go here. I want to go there. And I belong, like I always talk about this WhatsApp group, and I have a few people that jump in from time to time on the live stream that are a part of the group. And the beauty of this WhatsApp group is it's all about Colombia. That's the group. It's a travel group for Colombia. So we're all interested in Colombia. We've all traveled to Colombia, or not all traveled to Colombia, but a lot of us have traveled to Colombia before. Some people are living in Colombia right now. They're expats, so they're from America, but they moved out to Colombia and they're living there. So you just get so much information about that destination. And so it's really helpful. And being that people are there all the time, it's like I'm traveling with them. And then another good thing about it is if you travel solo, like I travel solo, I'm doing it more and more. Like I started out, I don't know, like I did it once. I did it in Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico was okay. Then I did it in Paris. And when I did it in Paris, that solo trip, that was an amazing trip. I love that trip. That was just for a photographer like me. I was in heaven. as far as that's concerned. I didn't really like the people weren't very friendly in Paris. That's just the way. Yeah, the people weren't friendly, but the overall experience, the photography, all that good stuff. I was in like a kid in a candy store. Every time I went out, I'd get up early in the morning. I'd go out, I'd take the subway, go out to a few different destinations, make sure I'm at a destination for the sunset, take a picture of sunset, and then come home, eat dinner, go to sleep, get up in the morning, and do this. I did that for 5 nights straight, and it was just, for me, it was just very relaxing. It was amazing. I was away. Didn't have to think about all the stuff that was going on in the U.S. And so it was just great. And so that was the second solo trip, and then this last trip to Colombia, I did it as a solo trip. But since I was belonged to this WhatsApp group, there were a lot of guys in the WhatsApp group that were going to Carnaval, and so we met up when we were there, and that's the best thing. So I'm traveling solo, and if I want to be alone and kind of do my own thing, I can do that. But then there's also people that are on the ground out there, and then we can just kind of hook up and go to the clubs and go to the parade and all that stuff. And so that's what we did. So it was an amazing time. So I just can't. When it comes to groups, travel groups, if you are interested in travel, jump in these travel groups, as well as like travel credit card groups too. If you're interested in travel credit cards, get in these groups, and you'll learn a lot. Okay, do you see Amex Centurion Lounge? If you do, let's see. Do you use? Okay, this is Jason asking this. Do you use the Centurion Lounge? If you do, what's your impression of them? I don't have an Amex Platinum card yet, so I do not use the Centurion Lounges. From what I've been hearing, they're a step above the Priority Pass lounges, so they do offer food and stuff like that. However, I will be getting that Amex Platinum card. I'm waiting. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm waiting a little time before I get the card. I can get it at any time at this point, but I'm kind of waiting until they open up the one at LA in Los Angeles. So they should be opening it up. They say 2019, but I've heard actually that they're not going to open it up until 2020, beginning of 2020. So once they open up that lounge, then that'll push me to get the card. But right now, I'm kind of good with my points for the rest of the year. So I already have my trips planned out. I've already paid for the Hawaii trip using points. And I have, pay for the Hawaii trip and then the Colombia trip. That's the only other trip that I have planned this year. I want to do one more trip at the end of the year, but I haven't made plans yet. So we'll just have to wait. And I'll even with that, I should still be fine with points. So next year, definitely I'll need some more points. And so that's when I'll hit the Amex Platinum, hit the Amex Gold. I want to hit that Amex Platinum at that 100,000 sign-up bonus, so I'm still waiting for that. And I know they're still kind of out there. If you do the incognito, you can kind of get it, or I might even get an offer in the mail. And that's probably what will happen, because for a while, they were sending me that 100,000 offer like on a regular, like every other month. They were sending it to me. So at some point, I'm sure they'll probably send it to me again, and then I'll look into getting it. Thank you so much, David, for answering my questions and sharing your knowledge. All of us. You're welcome, James. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. Let's see. I totally forgot the website you mentioned earlier where you can see how many points your flights. It's awardhacker.com. Type it in here. And I need to do a video on this. I guess you got to put www, whatever, so it'll be a direct link. I did a live stream on this Award Hacker, but I want to do a video on it, just to make it short and concise, and just a quick how to use it. I might even do that tonight, before I forget about it. But yeah, that's a great site to go to, because it will give you an idea, and what is kind of hard to comprehend. Especially, it was hard for me to comprehend when I first started getting points, is the fact that I don't have to use just the legacy carriers. I don't have to use Delta, United, and American Airlines. I can use other carriers. I can use Singapore Air, transfer my points to Singapore, and then book my travel with Singapore, but flying in the U.S. to Hawaii, if that makes sense. So, and then flying on another airline, not Singapore Air, but flying on a different airline, because they're all they have the different alliances, so you can kind of use that. So just kind of thinking along those lines, where it's like, okay, you don't have to just use Delta, United, and American Airlines. You can use some of these foreign airline carriers, use their point breakdown, their point system, and some of their point systems are more. You use less points, so your points are more valuable using their system than your points are using United or one of the other legacy carriers. So that's one thing that I've learned, and Award Hacker really lays it out, because you get on that website and they're going to show you this is what it takes. This is exactly what you need. This is what it's going to take. So it just makes more sense. All right, guys. Any other questions? We'll give it 2 more minutes, and then wow, we just hit 3 hours. We'll give it 2 more minutes. If there are any other questions, I'll answer those. If not, then we're going to go for the night, and then we'll be back on next Monday. And please, if you guys are in here right now, hit the like button on your way out. I want to try to get 30 likes on each live stream that I put out. And we've been pretty good, actually. We've been around 30 for every live stream. So if you guys on the way out, just hit the like button. And if you're new here, please subscribe to the channel so we can get more and more people involved, get more and more people out here. All right. Let's see. Okay, so Jason's saying that you don't seem to really be into luxury hotels based on your use of lower tier Hyatt and Airbnbs. Do you ever see yourself favoring luxury hotels? So Jason, I would. It depends. If I'm, like I said, if I'm traveling with a girlfriend, yes, I would probably go more, because and it's nice, it's romantic, right? You can stay at one of these nice hotels on the beach and all that good stuff. But when I'm traveling solo, I don't need it. It doesn't really. I think women really appreciate it, and they like to be pampered in the jacuzzi tub, and the just the ambiance and all that nice stuff. Unfortunately, it's not. When I'm traveling solo, I don't care about all that. You don't need to give me all that. So I will do the lower tiered Hyatt hotels. I will do the Airbnbs and be totally fine with it, because I would much rather have a more comfortable flight than the hotel experience. Now, I make sure, I don't care if it's whatever tier it is as far as Hyatt hotels or Airbnbs. I want to make sure that I have a good experience, but it doesn't have to be like the luxury experience. So I don't want to have a bad experience. I don't want to go to a hotel and it's just horrible. Like when I was in Thailand, and I've told this story before, but I stayed in Thailand. I stayed at the Hyatt Regency. This was a luxury hotel. Hyatt Regency, right on the water in Phuket, Thailand. Nice property. Really nice, elegant, very expensive. We're in Thailand, right? For breakfast, it's a breakfast buffet, but for breakfast, $27. So, yeah, and this is in Thailand. And Thailand is very reasonably priced when it comes to food and all that stuff, but not at this resort. It was expensive, and you don't get free breakfast because at that time I didn't get free breakfast. I was an explorer, so I wasn't at the top tier. Even if I was at the top tier, I wouldn't have gotten free breakfast. I would have been able to go to their lounge, which their lounge looked pretty nice, but even still, you're not getting a free breakfast. So I stayed there, but when I checked in, they had roaches in in the room. Older hotel, nice hotel, but it was older, and it was more of a like a bungalow style. It was like on a mountain, and it overlooked the ocean, which was it was nice. And I actually did a couple of videos. So if you go back to my Thailand videos, I believe I did a walkthrough. I'm almost positive I did. I think I did. Look at my Thailand stuff. I need to start doing more playlists where I have like Thailand playlists, and then I can just put the link in there. You guys can check them all out. But real nice hotel. But yeah, they had roaches in the hotel room. And so I had to call them and tell them, hey, yeah, I need to get a room change. So they changed me, no problem. They changed me to another room, so it wasn't an issue or anything. And the other room was fine, but yeah, I just happened to get a room that didn't, yeah, that they didn't spray, I guess, in there because they had some issues. That's the first time that's ever happened to me. But that was like I said, it was a Hyatt Regency, and this hotel was very, very nice. And the only reason that I stayed there is because I had a free night, and so I was only paying for one night, and I was only going to be staying 2 nights because I was meeting up with my buddy was in Bangkok at the time, and he was coming down from Bangkok, and he was going to meet up with me in Phuket, and we were going to stay, and we were going to stay in a hotel there, and that ended up being another whole issue. But we were going to stay in a hotel there in Phuket, but I needed a couple of nights, so I had a free night. So I used that, and then I had I paid for one night, and it was like I think it was $180 or something like that for that one night. So that's the reason that I went with that property. But looking back on it now, that's a great property for couples because it's away from everything. It's in Phuket. It's away from everything. You have your own private beach if you want to call it that, but it's not nice. Like it's it's not like a beach that you would just go and kind of hang out. It's just kind of like a little shoreline. The waves they're not really big waves or anything like that, but you're secluded. You're away from everything. They have a nice pool. You can hang out at the pool. And so it's good for that. But looking back on it, you should stay in Patong Beach. You should stay in that area. And so what we ended up doing, long story short, we were staying at this hotel. I was staying at the Hyatt Regency. I stayed there for 2 days, and then we went to another hotel. And this hotel was Wings Hotel in Phuket. I don't recommend that place. And for one, I didn't book any of that. Like my buddy booked all that, and so he booked it through. I don't know if it was through Booking. I think it was Booking.com. So he booked the hotel, and he like fell in love with the look. Like didn't look at the location. The location was more important than actually the way the hotel looked. The hotel was nice. It was very nice. It was they're separate bungalows. Okay, it's like almost like it was like an Airbnb. That's what it was, but it wasn't an Airbnb. It was like the hotel. So it was a nice setup in the sense that you had your own bedrooms, which is good. Like if I'm traveling with my buddy, it's a must that I have my own room. So you had your own room, so that was great. It was $130 a night, which is very expensive for Thailand. But you had your own bungalows. So you had your own pool. So you had a private pool. You had your own kitchen area, 2 bedrooms, and then you had a little I don't know what you call this, but it's like an outdoor loft, kind of like where you can walk up the stairs and you have another little area where you can sit over the pool and kind of look down. So very nice place. Very, very nice place. The only problem is it was about 40 minutes away from Patong Beach, which Patong Beach is where all the nightlife is. That's where you have Bangla Road, that's where all the clubs and bars and all that good stuff. That's where all that stuff is. So that's 40 minutes away. And to the nearest grocery store, and kind of they had another little kind of not really nightlife, but they had some restaurants and stuff in this area. That was about, I'd say, 8 to 10 minutes away, and they wanted to charge us 300 baht, which is like $9. So $9 to go to the restaurant, to some little restaurants, and to go to the grocery store, and then if we wanted to go to Patong Beach, it was 20 something bucks, maybe a little bit. I think it was like 20 something bucks to go there. And so then we had to really think about this, and then to top it off, we had to prepay for the hotel. So they already had our money. So because they had all our money, no refunds, and long story short, we had to eat it. We just had to, because I'm in Thailand. This is probably the only time I'll be in Thailand for a while. Like I don't really plan on going back to Thailand anytime soon. And not that it was bad, but I kind of want to spread out my trips other than going to Colombia, which I really like. And the reason why I'm going to Colombia a lot is because I'm trying to set up some business opportunities there. But as far as just going on trips to different destinations, Thailand's probably not going to be, I probably won't be going there anytime soon. But that was the thought, like, hey, we're here. We might as well just find a place that's more suitable. And so that's what we did. So we moved. We took like an $800 loss between the two of us and moved over to Patong Beach, and we stayed at a Hyatt place. And that was the best thing that we could have done, because $50 a night for the room. I had my own room. He had the adjacent room. So we had the door in between. So that was perfect. And we had a laundry service right out in the front of our hotel, which I had already booked a couple of nights there, because I was going to be staying a couple of nights longer than he was. So I had already booked a couple of nights there. So I was going to be going there anyway. And so I told him, hey, and I'd already done research on it. So I already knew that this was a good place to stay. And so I said, hey, we should just stay here. And that's why we went and booked everything there. So yeah, it worked out. But you live and you learn. That's kind of the way it is. But for me, yeah, when it comes to like hotels, I'm not really, it doesn't, I can stay and I'm not going to do a hostel. I won't go that far, but I'm fine with Airbnbs, and I'm fine as long as it's an Airbnb entire apartment. I'm not doing the Airbnb. They have the Airbnbs where you can have rooms, rent out rooms in the house. No, I'm not good with that either. At least right now, I'm not good with it. But unless it was a setup where it's all my friends, then I would probably consider that. Or if my friends were, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, because the only reason I'm saying that I don't know is because I'm doing Carnaval in Barranquilla next year, and I think it would. My main thing is I want to be within walking distance of the parade route, so I might consider doing that. Maybe if it's a few of us that are going to be staying, we all stay in that same Airbnb, and they're just separate rooms, but it's all of us. But there could be other people as well, and I have my own room. I might be open to that. We'll have to see. All right, guys. I've been on long enough. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We'll be back on Monday, and I don't know what we'll be talking about yet, but we'll figure something out, and I'll post it. And if you guys are a part of the Facebook group, then I'll post it on there, as well as if you hit the bell icon, you sign up or if you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, then you'll be notified, so you'll know what I'm going to be talking about, because they'll send you a notification saying, hey, there'll be a live stream coming on in 30 minutes. And then you'll also get notification once I go live. All right. So thank you guys for stopping by. I really appreciate it. And if you have any further questions or anything, just put it in the comments, and I'll answer them from there. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.